And so it begins. Up, 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 and upcoming. Up, 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 and upcoming games. I do love a bit of classical. Oh my god. What was that? What the hell was that? Oh, something's going on. We've got 7 seconds. We've got 6. We've got 4. We got 4. We got 3. We got 2. We got 1 second left. Okay. My god. That's loud. Welcome everybody to the Home of Wargamers event of 2022. Slitherine I've worked with in the past. I've done stuff like Field of War Medieval, Field of Glory Medieval, that's the one. But they've got a load of new cool games coming up, and they said, why don't you restream it? So this is a sponsor stream, but I'm excited to see what they've got on offer, what's going to be coming out very soon, what they're going to be showing us today. You might have seen a few other YouTubers are doing this as well. I've seen Alex the Rambler is doing it and stuff like that. Oh, Field of Glory Medieval is a fun game though. I've not played too many of their other games. I mean, let's see exactly. Panzer Corps, yeah. Starship Troopers, that's one that we might see today. War Plan, I mean that's already out, but I think we might get a few. I'm hoping there's some games that haven't been announced yet, some secret announcements, but I'm hoping for another Field of Glory game. Maybe Field of Glory Medieval 3 or just another Field of Glory game because, I mean, the ones with all the Romans is a lot of fun to play as. Ancient Arenas Chariots. That looks cool. We've got a Battle of Britain game on its way as well. Field of Glory Kingdoms. Hell yeah. Okay. And of course Starship Troopers Terran Command. I think I made a video on this. Broken Arrow. Yes, that's like a... what's the games called? Those strategy games. Wargame Red Dragon. It's a similar one like that. Modern Naval Warfare. Interesting, interesting. Stargate Timekeepers. We actually haven't heard much on Stargate Timekeepers before. So I'm looking forward to hearing more about that. Starship Troopers look good. I've seen quite a bit on the Starship Trooper game, and it does look like a lot of fun. Defending against waves and waves of enemies in sort of this Supreme Commander looking kind of thing. Oh, Supreme Commander was a great game. But I'd love to know what you guys think. Make sure, as we're watching this and going through, let me know what games you think look great, what games you think don't look great, and we can have some chats about them. Let's listen to Marco, though.
Say here, ciao to everyone. We are going to have a pretty intense 3 hours of live streaming. As you have seen from the video before, sorry, I'm missing the right camera. I'm here. As we have seen in this recap video, you know, we started quite a long time ago. It's been like 22 years now, and we have quite a lot in house for the future. And this is what we want to talk about now. We're going to talk about the future. The future for us is full of very big releases. We want to make sure that today is about these future releases. We have been doing a good, you know, good time, and you know, looking at the past and you know how far we've come.
It's a little bit out of sync. It feels like a ventriloquist.
We're now in a position to say, you know, let's look ahead and see what happens tomorrow for us.
I think the main game that I wanted to see here is the Field of Glory Kingdoms. We need a new medieval strategy. We really need a new medieval strategy.
4/5 of these releases. 2 of these you have never heard about. 3 of these you actually know about. And these are Master of Magic, Starship Troopers, Terran Command, and Stargate Timekeepers. We have, so how it's all going to work. We have, well, first of all, we have a live audience, which is made of internal staff of the company. We are all here in Venice for an offsite, so it was a good opportunity for us to do a live event whilst everyone was here. So it's everyone from production, everyone from operations, and we've got developers, programmers, artists, and more. And also, we have the producers, and you know they are the ones that are, you know, better suited to talk about the games. So Master of Magic, Starship Troopers, and Stargate will have live on stage a producer addressing questions from the audience and so on. The other thing we've got is 2 unannounced games, and we have more. We have,
Right. Are we going to bet? What are the unannounced games that they're going to, announce? Is it going to be a new... It can't be a new, Field of Glory game, because they're doing Field of Glory Kingdoms. Rat and Reich, I don't know if that's... That's not Slytherin. This is all Slytherin games. Slytherin.
The games, I'd like to welcome on stage Julia, who is going to help me do this...
Hello.
I mean, we've had recently Warhammer 40k Battle Sector, which was received pretty well. Men of War... Jack Sheldon, you're saying games that aren't made by Slytherin.
Yeah.
What are you saying?
Our social media and right. So Julia, we can expect a lot from today, but you want to sort of start by saying a few things to our viewers and followers.
Of course. First of all, welcome everybody.
Okay, Men of War 2, you would be right there.
And
40k, a new 40k game would be really cool.
You can ask whenever you want. You just have to follow our social channels. You have to follow Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, of course Twitch and YouTube. And you can ask your questions directly in the chat. We will answer. We will also answer to the questions our followers already made on our social channels in the past days. And the questions we won't be able to answer, we will answer in the tea time, of course.
Yeah. It's almost going to be like a place where you can ask any question.
Yeah.
So make sure you do this. You interact with us. We already stored some questions, but some of the stuff we are going to pick up live and make sure that we address and answer, during the live streams. So I can see some people far on the back that are already ready to do their bit. But before we get to that point,
I have to remember our hashtag.
The hashtag.
I have to. Sorry, our hashtag is HowLive2022. So write it down, remember it, and use it on all your social channels to speak about our live.
Yeah, one of the things I wanted to say, I'm going to say more during this event, is that we're going to have a lot of other Twitch channels hosting us and co-hosting us.
Yeah.
So I want to thank them all.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you for your support.
That's me. Not on Twitch, but that's me.
Your viewers and followers' eyes.
Yeah.
The first game that we are going to see today is
what's it going to be?
Master of Magic.
Master of Magic.
Then we're going to do. So this is going to be taking quite a lot of time.
Yeah.
One of the things, Julia, we are
that's
trying.
That's not the thing you say at the start of your stream. We're going to show off some new games. This is going to take a long time. Actually, maybe that is a positive. Maybe that is a positive. Was it Massive Magic or Master of Magic?
Yeah, I think
or Massive Magic Masters.
When we
Massive.
discussed about this event the first time,
it's Master of Magic. Right, okay. And then after that we've got an unannounced new game. Master of Magic. Oh, it's a new strategy game.
And thank you to Alienware that
interesting.
During the live game plays.
I mean, I don't know why I'm confused about that. Most of them are strategy games.
Something I think Master of Magic is a good example. You're going to see.
Yes, Master of Magic is a 1994 game, but I think there's a. I'm assuming this is like a new, like maybe a remake, but it looks completely new. So I'm looking at the Steam page now, Master of Magic.
You haven't seen before.
Interesting.
We have also Starship Troopers,
yes,
which is going to end
yes.
our live event today.
Yeah, and that will be released soon.
It's the 16th of June. Yeah, we're releasing on the 16th of June. Starship Troopers, we're going to show you, hopefully, a full scenario, an entire scenario. And we also have Stargate with, again, another live scenario played by the producers and the development team.
Yes.
The other thing is there's some unannounced things. How excited are you about that?
I'm so excited. I know
Me too.
the two games we are talking about, And I'm so excited.
My
that
favorite game they did
know
was
them, but they will be so surprised
40k
and happy about
Gladius.
this,
40k
account.
Gladius is
I
pretty.
think some of them
pretty
know,
cool.
but they don't know, right?
Yeah,
It's
maybe, yes. Some of them make some guessing. On
Yeah,
our
40k.
Twitter in the
Why do I just keep saying
postings.
40k?
correct.
40k
Someone-
Gladius
Some
was a
were
pretty
pretty
fun little
correct,
game.
yeah.
You will know later if
It's
you were right. Or
good to
not.
have some
yeah, absolutely.
decent
absolutely.
40k games
All
coming
right,
out
so,
at least.
Without further ado, I will now introduce you guys to Alberto and Mark, who are going to
I cannot wait. I want to see
play and
Alberto.
comment on Master of Magic. Actually, Paolo Paglianti, the mighty Paolo Paglianti, playing Master of Magic live as if it was 1994, and he was there. He was there. It's like dinosaurs.
Yeah.
And
He always talks about Master
Master
of
of
Magic.
Magic, it's
That
like
he was
it's,
born in
yeah.
1994, and that I was born in 1994, so I am as old
Oh,
as
right.
Master. Yeah.
Ah, I
we
didn't
are
know
all
that.
at the
Didn't know
same
that.
age.
Yeah, that's great. That's great. All right, guys. So let's take a look at Master of Magic now.
Yeah.
Here we go. The first game, Master of Magic. Oh my god, that's
28 years
loud.
ago, a game started a whole new genre. Today,
Anyone in here play the original Master of Magic?
Slytherin are proud to present the next generation of the Master of Magic franchise. Welcome on stage, senior producer Mark Hardesty and senior brand manager Alberto Casalini.
Hi everyone, hello. I'm here with Mark and Paolo, and
Hello.
today we're going to show you Master of Magic. This is a remake of a classic from the 90s. So, Mark, what can you tell us about the game?
Well, it involves magic, it involves wizards. It's very much a remake of the classic 90s, as Marco was saying. I think it's from 94. It's a 4X strategy game, one of the earliest there was. And there's exploration, there's research of magic. Yeah, I mean, it's a classic, really.
Yeah, it basically established the rules for 4X games.
Yes.
Nice, awesome.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, there's been, and it's very much a remake that we're doing. Even to the point where when I sort of talk to the developers for a game design document, they are working from the Master of Magic wiki. So it is very.
Please sync the sound,
Alright,
lol.
so,
I can't
let's
stop
jump into the
laughing.
game.
Mate, this isn't
we have a
my
number of
stream.
things
Look,
to
this
show
is
you.
my mouse. You can see my mouse here. I'm just watching the stream just like you are. I have no control over their technical issues, unfortunately.
Wizard customization, we will have a look at the number of available races and all the spells and all the units. It's a lot of stuff, so let's jump into it. Don't see anything.
Let's jump into it, guys. Come on. You need to be on board. Oh, here we go.
Alright,
Sorry.
So now we see it. Okay, so what do we see here?
Yeah, so when you start a new game, there are 14 wizards that are available to choose from. Again,
They have a
of
nice
the
computer, though.
classics
I mean, that
from the
means they're
original
great
game.
at developing games. Because
Each
they have a nice
wizard has its
computer.
own sort of
I think, like,
characteristics
Slytherin are,
and,
like,
it's sort of
as a studio,
magical, schools that
they're kind of so under the radar, but they make some
various
absolute
subgroups.
bangers.
Depending
But
on
they're never,
those,
like,
you
would you
get
say they were
different
AA rather than
sets of
AAA? I don't know.
spells from the different schools.
But,
So Merlin here.
I mean, in terms of historical games, they are,
On
you know,
sorcery,
they are
and if
some
you
of the
look at
only
it,
companies
you can see
still
how that all
championing
changes.
good
So
historical
you've
strategy
got
games.
nature there. Yeah, there are dark wizards that sort of deal with chaos and death,
Yeah.
and there are ones that are sort of more life-based as well.
Yeah.
And depending on who you choose, it's a different, it's a different gaming experience because you have a whole different set of.
So I'm
spells.
going to be honest
Yeah.
here.
Also, each wizard.
Out of a lot of the games,
is
Masters of
used
Magic
for
is
different personalities.
not one that
Of course,
really
for
takes my
Imperial
fancy.
will
Could be
behave
wrong though.
differently.
Hopefully, I mean,
Magically,
this is kind of the
should
point
be
of
possibly
them showing it off.
focusing on,
Hopefully, they will
collaborating with
change
other
my
wizards,
mind.
while,
But we'll see. We'll see.
others more
Yeah, there are
more evil
more.
inclined wizards will be a bit more nasty.
There are more warlike wizards.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, within the game, there's up to 5 other wizards these sort of you're playing. So yeah, you can play them off each other or play according to their traits. Really, as we can see, there's a bit of a makeover. Anybody who knows the original game and what they looked like before, they look a lot prettier now. But they do have that kind of core of what they were.
All right, so there is a wizard customization screen if you want to make your own wizard. As you can see here, we can enter our name. All right, perfect. What do we see here, Mark?
So this is where you pick your trait and magic.
Yes.
You have a number of points that you can spend on either spells and spell books or on traits. Now, a trait will be things like if you're charismatic, you may get more heroes coming towards you, kind of coming to work for you. And also, you can, if you have too many traits, you have less spell books available.
Yeah.
So it's a bit of a sort of balance between what you want, how you want to play.
Yeah.
There are certain.
What do we
traits,
think
for
so
example,
far
like
then, lads?
Mirren.
What do we think so
We
far?
have a couple of planes.
I mean, obviously we've not seen any actual
Planes on
gameplay,
it.
but in
Your
terms
mirroring
of
allows you to
the
choose
detail and the depth of
races, so we'll sort of
the
get
skills and all that kind of stuff, Crazy
you know,
Energy
you could
says
play where
interesting.
You have no traits and you just have a large proportion of spells, or you can have more traits. And again, it's customization. It's giving you a different game depending on how you sort of customize it as well.
Yeah, we'll have a more thorough look at spells later, but it should be noted that after you start the game, you can always research new spells. So, yeah, let's continue.
So yeah, the next thing is actually choosing the spells you're going into. So because we've picked Death and Chaos spells, they're quite dark spells that Paolo's chosen. So you can, you start with any kind of common spells, and depending on how many books you've brought in, you might have, you can have a large range of different schools of magic.
Yeah.
So you can, for example, you may have only 2 spells from Death you can choose, but here we have more spells that are actually available.
Awesome.
Yeah, and there are over 200 spells in the game.
That's a lot of spells.
Yeah, and they're
That's
fairly
more than
unique.
10.
They are fairly unique, and you know,
I would like to see some more gameplay before I can
the
judge. I agree, I agree.
Completely different
I think
spells.
they are going incredibly in depth with every single one of these games they're revealing, so I don't know. We should get it soon, but yeah, I think they're going to be going really in depth with all this stuff first.
But yeah, so you choose the spells, and then when you're happy with that, we go to the race screen.
Yes.
So when you start a game, you start with a race, and the first few sort of minutes of the game will be sort of basically this race that you're sort of starting with. But as you meet new settlements and either, I say befriend them, probably attack and take over the settlements, you then get those races that you found that you can start kind of creating units and managing the towns there. As you can sort of see, the screen split between Arcanus on the left and Mirren on the right. Arcanus is more the kind of...
Unfortunately, there is no fast forward button on a live stream. Reminds me of Age of Wonder. A little bit, yeah. I mean, that's a good old classic. I mean, to be fair, the original Master of Magic came out a few years before Age of Wonder, so all the like the late 90s, early 2000s strategy games, including like Age of Empires, they all took off each other and did similar things.
Buildings that you build and a few units that you kind of create, whereas the orcs and the high men, they have a very long kind of construction tree where you're building a lot more kind of complex units. Literally, I know the high elves are like, the high men are sort of 3 times more unit types than the halflings, for example.
Yeah, that's very important.
Yeah.
It should be noted that the race you start with is not necessarily the only race you will play with during your campaign. As you conquer more settlements, you can acquire subjects from different races. So by end game, you might be leading a coalition of high elves, high men, lizard men, nomads, orcs, halflings. There's really a lot that you can do. Also, you mentioned Arcanus and Mirren. It should be noted that these 2 worlds coexist on different planes. During a normal playthrough, you can switch from one plane to another. There are certain ways.
I guess we'll find out, Jack Sheldon.
To travel from.
I guess
Arcanus
they'll
to
show us in
Mirren
the
and vice
gameplay,
versa,
hopefully.
including spells and magical gates. But yeah, we'll get to that. But yeah, I just wanted to mention that basically you will need to.
Yeah, I mean, in terms of graphic design, it does look pretty nice. I mean, you've got the barbarians, the gnolls, the halflings, high elves, high men, all the kind of general D&D style of races. Lizard men, of course. Who doesn't want any of them? Beautiful. And I'm assuming, as you can see, it all completely changes your gameplay, so there's unlimited amounts of times you can go over and over again and do different skill sets, different abilities, all that sort of stuff, different races and things like that. This, they're showing off Master of Magic. It's a remake from the 1994 game at the moment. Yeah, and then after this one, they're going to be showing off an unnamed game, which is exciting. I hope it's not disappointing.
But there are stronger units as you get through.
Yes.
So again, there's different play styles that you sort of get.
But yeah, as you can already see, there's a lot of variety in Master of Magic. You can choose 14 different wizards, 14 different races, 200 different spells. We see later that there are almost 200 different unit types.
There are, yes.
So many dozens of different magical items that you can also craft new ones. So there are really endless possibilities. So, all right, enough of an introduction. We have prepared a save game for you. So there is this sort of advanced gameplay situation that we want to show you. Basically, we want to show you a more established setting in which we have already settled a few cities, built a few armies, and researched quite a few spells. Mark, actually, you did.
Are we
this
going in?
Yeah, yeah.
What can you tell us?
Is this it? Are we going into the game? Merlin, I will suffer no fools. Knowledge shall win the day. Well, I mean, I've got to disagree with Merlin there because I think a tactical nuke would win the day. Oh no. Oh no, God, they've crashed the stream. No, it's back up. Well done, Slytherin.
You start with a
Oh my God, they fixed the sync
settlement.
issue. Everything is now synced up. Look at this guy's face. Oh, beautiful. This looks nice. This looks really nice.
You can zoom out.
And this is Arcanus, sorry.
I really do actually like the art style. I was a bit like tentative about the UI and the menu, but the game looks good. Cornberry. Looks kind of beautiful.
Tundra and green and wooded areas and mountains and volcanoes.
Yeah.
And a lot of water as well.
Awesome.
There's a fog of war. You can see the clouds as you explore. Usual thing. You kind of clear and explore. As you have units or settlements, they stay clear.
Okay.
If you move through a piece and then go, there's a slight sort of greying to that. So
Okay.
yeah. So this is the city screen.
Yes.
Paolo's chosen our main city, which, as I said, was a halfling. Cornbury. There's some town names that we've got in. I just want to say, we went initially.
Looks
with the
like Civ
original,
6 and
Master of
Humankind.
Magic town
My
names.
question is though,
There was
does it
places like
play the
Coventry
same?
and Birmingham.
I
Many
mean,
places that lived
I
in
don't know if they're
are
similar
as
games at all.
fantasy as possible. So the devs
I feel like
have
who makes the Civ
Yeah,
games,
yeah.
right?
Yeah, there are tons of
Civilization.
different subtle differences compared
Yeah,
to the
yeah.
original Master. It's not like a completely.
Firaxis,
full remake,
those guys.
you know,
I think them. I mean, Firaxis are a much bigger company than Slytherin, right? So they're going to be able to do a lot more with it. However,
city view.
in terms of strategies, I think it's looking all right so far. Oh my God, what's going on with this stream? I am once again restreaming it, but I don't think it would be my internet because my stream's still fine, I hope. So don't worry about that. I'm sure they'll save it eventually. Come on, guys. Should we give it a quick refresh? Let's give it a quick refresh, see what's going on there. I swear if I get an ad. There we go. Nope, it's happened again. Don't worry, everybody.
Information, of all the buildings
It's all
you do.
okay.
And it allows you, as you're sort of searching the worlds, as you select on an opponent settlement, you can also sort of see which buildings they've sort of got.
I believe it has battles too, like
So
Total
yes, we have
War.
that, just to sort of
Interesting.
explain some of the stuff here.
I'm going to do a bit of a Google research on Master of Magic while this is going on.
In the settlement.
Yeah,
So again,
that's the garrison, right?
yes, yeah, that's the garrison. So we've got mainly halflings. We've got a couple of heroes in there as well. We've got a wizard. Again, all from the original. Zaldron, and a barbarian in there that would have joined us at some point. So you get details there. You have top right. You have a little section on what the output of the town is. So I've currently got most of my people there are currently producing food. They're
Yeah.
farmers, but you can balance it if you want. If you're building a lot of stuff, or creating units. You can move them to work.
Master of Magic. Let's take a look at this.
And,
Take up the role of a great wizard, wield powerful spells, command fancy races, and challenge your rivals in this remake of a cult turn-based strategy classic. Do you have what it takes to become Master of Magic? I mean, their Steam page is... Oh, yeah. I mean, it's not Total War Star Battles. It's like Field of Glory, which is another game they made that we'll see a little bit later in this.
Settlers that can create new settlements. So again, exploring and... You know, I usually build things on the shore because that.
But yeah, it looks like you can create units
and food production.
Oh, by the way,
I'm assuming go to war and
this
things like that.
town is inhabited by orcs, not by Alphans. Like our capital is inhabited by Alphans, but these ones are orcs.
Oh, that's right. That was one of the first settlements that I sort of captured while playing this game.
Yeah.
So if you look on the manage now, so this gives you an idea of how you create new buildings and also create new units. Yeah, as you see, as Paul is sort of scrolling up and down on the building types, I think in the original you could sort of construct one building at a time or one unit at a time. We have a small kind of construction queue you can set up, and you can change between buildings and different units.
Yeah.
And I don't know, Paolo, if you just want to click bottom right through the different kind of units as well. There's a little arrow where it's one of two.
More to the right.
The art style in the UI is very different to the art style in the game itself. I wonder how much that's going to affect like gameplay and things like that.
You can only produce orcish units.
Orcs, yes.
Yeah.
That's true.
Oh my god.
As Mark mentioned, the construction queue is entirely new. It wasn't in the original Master Magic. It's one of those quality of life improvements since the original.
Yeah, that's right.
Sorry about that little outburst. We've been waiting for some money to come in for a sponsorship for like 3 months now, and they've been really painful about it and like broken contract multiple times, and they've finally come through and actually paid up, which is a bit of a relief. Anyway, back on with the stream. You want to see the armies of Merlin? Well, they're right on your screen now. Wow. What's the name of the game? Master of Magic. It's a remake of the 1994 cult classic turn-based hit. I feel like I'm just reading off their Steam page now. Essentially, I am.
Maybe we'll get more once we fight some battles, but we'll get to that, yeah.
Okay, from what we've seen so far, let me see in the chats, ratings out of 10. 10 being, I'm definitely getting this game. 1 being, doesn't interest me at all. For me, I'm at about a 5 or 6. I don't necessarily think that's because it doesn't look great, but they've not convinced me yet, because this isn't really my kind of game, whole magic and stuff like that. I'm more of a Field of Glory kind of thing. However, if they show some really cool battles off, I might be getting there. Kimber says 7, Jack says 7, Crazy Energy says 6, 6.5 for Mark Notters, 6 for Marsupilami Arts, 8 for Chinese Internet. He likes this game, this is his kind of thing.
200 units, unique type of units.
I want to say 196.
That's very precise.
I'm quite happy for the developers to say if I'm wrong. Yes, there's 196,
nice.
Give or take, sort of different units in there.
Yeah, also wanted to mention that, many strategy games have variations of the same units, but with Master Magic,
one from Jesse Van Slooges. Jesse, I'd love to know from you, why is it a 1? You too, Wingfoot McNova. Why are you a 4? What about it are you not sold on right now?
That's true, yes.
I would say personally for me, I'm not a big fan of the UI. But as I said, I really do like the game map itself. Do you think it has different eras? I think this is a very Magic D&D kind of based thing, so I doubt it has different eras.
Or in fact, go to the cockatrices, Paolo. We could go there instead. This is the cockatrices, and I just want to say, Banter, the sort of the settlement just to the left, that will be another wizard's settlement.
Right.
Should we talk about the spells?
Yes.
Let's talk about the spells.
Yeah.
Jack Sheldon says 7, but graphics when everything in 3D contrast is a bit too much.
There are over 200 unique spells. This is our spell book currently. You can scroll pages like an actual book. Right now, we only have a few dozens spells, if I remember correctly. But you can already see that they're very, very diverse.
Yeah. Do you want to just turn the
I hope the battles are not too long. I have horrible memories of incredibly long battles in Age of Wonder.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean,
all of these are research.
with all strategy games, it is that thing of trying to balance battles. What would you say is like the perfect battle length? Because I think Rome 1 was really, really good when it wasn't bugged out, because sometimes in Rome 1 Total War you'd have a bug where, like, on sieges they don't attack and, you know, you have to just play out the timer. But, like, the later Total War games, they kind of shortened the battles. It was, you know, a complete mess. So it kind of depends, like trying to balance that length of time for actually going into battles, being able to do a lot of things, being able to implement a lot of strategies, but also not making it so long that players get bored. Crazy Energy says the battles will change his mind up or down. Not your type of game. I don't like turn-based games. Well, you might like Starship Troopers. That's coming later. What else have we got? We've got Battle Arrow, something Arrow. 1 second, let me find this for you. Broken Arrow. That's the one, Broken Arrow. I don't think that's turn-based. That's more like a Wargame Red Dragon kind of strategy. Starship Troopers, that game I'm looking forward to seeing some gameplay from.
It is a place of interest where there may be gold and artifacts. You may get mana from it, but often guarded by fantastic creatures. So some are easy to conquer, and some will wipe you out because they will be too. You know, you can meet some pretty nasty creatures.
Sounds great. Okay, let's have a look at the magic, at the spells research screen.
How many games are they revealing? Well, my friend, I can tell you exactly, actually, because I have the email from Slytherin today. Once again, I just want to make it very clear, this is a sponsored stream, but I haven't, you know, said that I haven't been told that I can say or not say stuff, so I will be very honest in what I think about the games. So, what have we got going on today, everybody? Right now, we're looking at Masters of Magic. Straight after this, there's an unreleased game, which will be in 10 minutes. Oh, I can't wait. Unannounced game in 10 minutes. That's going to be good. Then we've got Stargate Timekeepers. Then we have another unannounced game. And then we have Starship Troopers, Terran Command, which I'm very much looking forward to. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4 more games to come out. They're going to have a little, like a recap of things, but I might go on a break on that bit. Sorry to Slytherin if you're watching this, but I'll probably keep the stream up, but I'll go on a quick break, because I want to see what games they're revealing, not sort of what they're doing in the future with Twitch.
That could be a spell of its own, right?
Could be, yes. Yeah. Then the creature is created in your original city, where your sort of tower of power is, your wizard's tower.
Yeah, Wingsfoot McNova, I actually would agree with that. Out of all the games I play, like on a daily basis, in terms of strategies, there's not many turn-based stuff in there, except from, I mean, Total War battles are technically turn-based. Civilization is technically turn-based. Well, it is turn-based, not technically. The thing is, Total War has, you know, real-time strategy, but I would say I prefer real-time strategy 10 times out of 10 over a turn-based. Well, okay, let's say 9 times out of 10, because something like a Civilization is like an incredible game that I would put over a average real-time strategy game, you know. But yeah, I generally do prefer RTSs, which I think we'll see quite a few of today.
Okay. Yeah, actually, let's have a look at diplomacy. A very quick look, because after that we want to get into tactical battles. So, Paolo, can you click on the diplomacy screen? No, it's the other button.
So it's the one top right, but not settings.
There we go.
I love listening to them doing their technical difficulties mid-stream. Okay, so apparently this is the diplomacy screen. Right, what do we think about this? This feels a little bit bare for diplomacy screen, right, in a strategy game. Do you not think?
For example, he will come and say, I am at war with you.
I mean, this is more like the general thing you'd see.
Also, you can exchange spells.
You can trade, yeah, you can.
Yeah, let's try.
Oh, you can trade spells.
Let's give them an
See, I like that.
Yeah,
I really like that.
Spell has a cost, so if you can match the cost.
Yeah, we are matching it. So let's try to click and confirm.
It feels like it's coming from a very old game. ironically enough, Jack,
All right, so now I think
there's a reason
by
for
the way,
that.
I wanted to mention
But
something. You
yeah,
mentioned
no, I know what you mean.
that's
Of course, this is a remake of a
game
very
has
old game.
just
28
entered
years ago it came out.
so
Before I was born.
we're not ready to release yet, of course.
So they are remaking it. However, I think, yeah, you can see some of that old-timey game development coming through. And there is a mix of new stuff, like the map itself, and what you just saw then with the little UI, with the dots and moving around, that's very Civilization, right? With moving troops around. But the UI is very
Alright, so now we have
90s, early
another
2000s.
segment, because we, of course, want to show you tactical battles as well.
Okay, they're going to show us tactical battles now. Oh no, what have they done? Now we see everything. We see it all behind the scenes. Quick, do they have any inappropriate files on their computer?
Battle that they have prepared. So what can you tell us?
Yes.
Jacob,
this
I am,
is, a little bit after the game.
I am
we've been
22.
seeing there. There's a couple of
I was
battles
born
that
in
we're going to,
30 days before the
when you
millennium.
actually go into a battle, when you're attacked, when you attack, when a settlement attacked, or when you attack a settlement.
Right, it's battle
you have
time,
two
everyone.
options. You
It's
can
battle
have your
time.
Familiar, which every wizard has a specific familiar, who will do the battle for you. And it's very much a kind of instant auto battle. And there'll be information sort of saying, 100% victory or 30% victory. So you have to kind of make a choice of whether you want to do the battle or not, or whether you want to do the auto battle or not. But you also have the option of going in and...
These loading
do the
times aren't
battle by
fantastic, I
yourself,
can't
which
lie.
is what I think we will be doing here.
Okay. So now we are at the world screen, and we are going to order.
Right, we're gonna go into a battle.
army to attack another.
7 can quickly become a 5 if the battle sucks. Yeah, I think this is going to be a turning point for a lot of people. And me as well. If the battles are cool,
There we
they're going
go.
to start selling me.
Beastmen,
But if the battles are
there's a place of
bad,
interest.
I don't know.
If we move the turn, actually, if we go to the next turn,
Yes, we need to skip turn.
I mean, the game is turn-based. We probably haven't said turn-based so far in this presentation,
I mean,
which is
I
crazy.
will hope.
Well, I
that it's
appreciate
really
you being here,
soft, but
Jacob.
Yeah, you never know.
By the way, Jacob, we also have the same name.
The opponent wizards are sort of moving their units, and as you can see, turn 372 we're on at the moment, which is up at the top. So this is a place of interest.
Yes.
Dark caves for mere shelter for the elements.
Come on, let's head in.
May hide a
Come on.
beast lair.
Don't delay it
So we don't know
anymore.
what's in there at the moment.
I want to see these battles.
Right, now we do. So we've got
Big bear. Are they
trees.
beavers?
It's very
Are they
yeah,
bears or
that's the unit
beavers?
we were talking about earlier.
yeah. We've got some
Oh, they're
sprites.
bears, right. But do they look a bit like beavers on their hind legs to you? Am I being dumb?
That's how we use
They
it.
kind of look
So
like beavers.
In the game, I discovered some beastman settlements, which I've sort of taken over and started kind of creating.
Oh, catapults,
very
artillery though as well.
units.
Oh, yes.
So we've got, if you right-click on those units, actually, Paolo, you can see some details. So I've got one beastman magician. I think there's 2 beastman shaman, manticore, and with these units, so the beastman magician, for example, if you kind of find him, he has his own spell book, so he has specific.
It does look cool. You see, the one thing with Total War battles, right?
So do have some
And
spell
obviously this is nothing like Total War.
Sorry,
But the one thing I'd say is because they try and go for more... Well, it's bigger battle size and they have some like realism with the historical stuff. Realism in inverted commas, but in quotations. But you have a lot of like repetitive troops. Like in Rome Total War, you'd be playing a lot of like urban cohorts and stuff like that. If you're a screb like me, or First Legionary cohorts. But what I like about this is because it's much smaller battles, you have different individual units. Except from the 4 beavers there. Right, okay. I'm going to shut up while we go into the battle. Okay, this looks quite cool.
Yes.
So as you're attacking, the opponent has the first go. You
They
have
don't look like
50
beavers
turns
anymore.
In a battle, as we can see, turn 0 of 50. So, so some of the options you can see.
What do you think our strategy should be? Because we only have like 1 melee unit, and the other ones are pretty ranged.
Well, we've got the Minotaurs, which are pretty. They've got sort of like special shield abilities. So you get them at the front. Catapult and the.
Oh wait.
Dragons
Sorry.
versus
Probably
beavers.
about
Who do we think are going to win, lads?
Oh, okay.
Oh, a fireball. Yeah.
And ladies.
Probably
I doubt there's anyone
was-
watching.
yeah.
Honestly, isn't it so disappointing that there's 0.3% of my viewers are women? Guess it's just not the content for it. I'm not surprised, honestly.
Earlier when
So no makeup brand deals coming anytime soon, guys. I'm sorry.
The sprites
It's
will
just gonna be
back and just keep firing.
Manscaped,
Took them out earlier, yeah.
Beer 52, that kind of thing,
Heavy fire. I think
and
Paolo is
Slytherin,
supposed to
as we've seen
take care of
today.
those prices as soon as you can.
Right, Chinese
Some of the
internet
options
is
here, you can
vouching
obviously
for the
see,
beavers.
The details of the units on the left and right hand side, which gives you more information about sort of the health and the
Yeah.
strength of each one.
So now Paolo is using Stone Skin in order to buff one of his units. In this case, the Minotaurs. So they are now buffed. They're more resistant to enemy blows.
I like the
and
Minotaurs,
time
they're
to
cool.
get in the thick of the fight.
You know, the manticores. So yeah, so some of the other elements, like in the top middle, we have a battle report, which kind of sort of.
Yeah, what are we
going
thinking about
on.
the battles?
We have
I
on the right, we
I
have
think this is
autoplay,
quite
so when
promising,
it's your
honestly. I think this is very promising.
on autoplay, and
I think they've done a good job there.
and we
Graphically,
have,
it looks good enough.
see what's going on,
But I think it,
Yeah, yeah.
whilst as I've mentioned, turn-based isn't like a thing for me. But this really looks like it's fast-paced enough. There's not a lot of, you know, turn-based games that try and do like battles are quite slow. This actually looks like it's quite fast-paced.
Ooh, healing powers.
Wait, can the bears attack the flying lions? Well, we're about to find out, aren't we?
Trying to keep the Minotaurs alive as much as you can. Also, you know, we should mention that units gain experience as they fight.
Oh, yep, they can.
Yes, yeah. they level up all the
Yeah.
time. So again,
Actually,
if-
you can also see that on the unit screen.
We do need to make a beaver army. A level 5 spell can turn one giant beaver into a man-bear-pig. I'd like to see that.
You really
I'd like to see more of an attack animation,
if you can.
like
You don't have to,
hits.
of course, but
Yeah,
just
I mean,
sense of-
animations are rather basic.
I don't know if you want to show autoplay on here and just let.
However, like, I don't,
Now the
it doesn't
AI
take me out of
consists
it, I don't think.
fight itself.
So it's, yeah,
But those warbears
move
do look
the
like
unit
goddamn
further
beavers.
away to sort of do ranged attack. Could have a drink now, Paolo. But yeah, the AI in autoplay will cast spells for the player as well. So it does use mana as well, but it should be doing for the best thing to win the game for you.
Yeah, I think we're almost done with the AI.
2 bears left, I think, to sort of take
Yes.
out. Let's just give them a little blat.
I really like how they really shoot from afar. Ranged units in this game seem pretty
And you
powerful.
can, and you can zoom in as well. I don't know, Paolo, if you want to just, because I think you've been sort of zoomed out for most of that.
Yeah,
So
there's
you
only
can
one
zoom
bear
in.
left. Ooh, what's that?
I think he probably either
That's disappointing.
killed.
All the beavers have been slaughtered, guys.
There was a buff.
So, Chinese internet who thought the beavers were going to win, you're wrong. You were wrong. I also thought they were going to win, so I'm just as disappointed.
In this case, we
In terms of visibility, it should be better with coloured circles under the units instead of tiny flags.
That's the artifact you were talking about.
Yeah, so that means you can assign that.
Yeah, I'm assuming they probably made that a conscious decision to do that,
Get these sort of,
just for aesthetic reasons.
there's artifacts. there's
Obviously, it would make it easier to see with coloured circles, but whether or not that, you'd have to do it in a way that didn't kind of just take away the whole aesthetic, because it is quite like, they are going for that old-timey look, as if this was like an old game just with slightly better graphics, you know. But I mean, they've got it on the campaign map, and it looks all right. So yeah, maybe you're right.
All right, that's
Okay, so we've seen the game. We've seen the game now.
Well, let's have a very
Everybody's
quick
final
look at
score, 1 to 10. 10 being great game, 1 being not bothered about it.
We'll switch to a very
I think that's everything we're getting shown about this game, by the way.
Yeah. So I guess we're going. This is a. Oh, that was all.
Well, they did an auto-resolve.
In the actual battle, so.
Okay.
But yeah,
The
we
battle
won again,
wasn't
so
very
another
entertaining.
Item, unit abilities, that's really powerful. Well, I mean, those are neutral armies. So
6.5, 1. No beaver, no play. Chinese internet did not like the lack of beavers or surviving beavers. Okay, so
you should be worried about
I'm getting a sort of average scores around this
because
in terms of excitement. I'd probably agree with that.
Yeah, you know,
It looks decent, but at the end of the day, like, it's not necessarily my kind of game, but it looks all right.
progress. And when a game like this, and with the the AI,
I can imagine it being a game you can sink hours and hours and hours into, though, if it was your kind of thing.
different AI. And it's great playing kind of, weekly or every 2 weeks a new build comes in, and the AI just gets smarter and smarter and smarter. And it's getting to that point now where you can see the enemy AI doing little strategies as they're sort of coming in on your settlements and sort of trying to take you out. It's quite nice. So yeah, I mean, what we're seeing where we were just there are a number of wizard settlements. This is, I think, are these...
Do you know the positive thing about Slytherin games is that they're not incredibly pricey. They're actually pretty decent as far as I know. I mean, Field of Glory at the moment, it's 23 quid. It's a good game. Field of Glory Empires, well, that's £30.
They're amazing. I love it.
Interesting.
Okay,
I've not
so,
played that one.
Now we are about to run out of time, but first we have a special video from you.
A special video?
From the developers of More Games. It's a team composed of 6 people, and they have a very special message for you. So let's watch it.
Right, what have you got to tell us, lads?
Hi, I'm Yuki from Muha Games, and we're the studio responsible.
Did anyone else think that was Jodie Comer at a glance? For a second there.
So the last time I spoke to you was when we were at the very beginning of our journey.
I would have liked to see some different terrain on the battle map that could make battles a lot more exciting, with ambushes and trees and high ground bonus on the fields, etc. I 100% agree with that one. I think that would infinitely improve the battles. From what I can see so far, the game is mostly focusing on the overworld map with diplomacy, with, troops and capturing settlements and things like that and building them up, rather than the battles themselves. The battles, for me, are what draw me into games, and like a lot of you guys said in chat, the battle will be whether you buy or don't buy this game, whether it's good enough. And I agree, I think more effort has been put into the overworld map, because that's kind of what the gamers are focused on. However, I would have liked to see some more stuff like different terrain in the battle maps as well. It was kind of bland. Welcome, Alexander the Great. You done any more conquering recently? We did only see one battle. You are right, Crazy Energy. You are right. That could have just been the terrain that was in that battle at that point in time.
Developing Master of Magic. So I'll just give you a quick recap on those questions now. So one of the questions I asked was, what was the one thing that we most enjoyed so far working on Master of Magic? And the other one was, what was the most challenging thing we've found working on Master of Magic so far? I would say that the thing that we've enjoyed most and that we are still enjoying is delving into a very complex world that is just magical. I mean, it's such a big part of gaming history, and it's got in particular the skills, the spells, and just the game mechanics. They're all very complex, so you don't get those copy paste spells, I feel, in Master of Magic. I think every spell here has its own quirks, its own meaning, and I think that's been a fun thing to do. And then the things that we found most challenging, again, they link actually to the things that we enjoy more. So this wonderful complexity of Master of Magic comes as the price. And that price is that there's a lot of exceptions to the rules, the spells, so you have to quite often create mechanics specifically just for one spell, which you normally wouldn't, or we normally wouldn't do.
Okay, I feel like I've seen plenty. I want to get onto the unannounced game. Also, I actually look at her bookshelf on the right, not the one behind it, the one on the right. Look at all those. Is that Endor or Kashyyyk? I mean, they look. I mean, there's the Jabba's boat, Jabba's thing in the Sarlacc, the boat that he uses, the flying one. That is an awesome collection, I can't lie. Can we see what books that they're reading at the moment? Tolkien. Okay, interesting. I'm assuming the rest of the Lord of the Rings are up there as well.
So thanks very much for listening to me, and bye.
Bye-bye. Bye. Right, that was Master of Magic. I think mostly in terms of interest, average interest from most of the resident subscribers at least. It's ironic. We seem to have very similar opinions. It's as if, like, we all enjoy the same kind of games, which is why we're around this channel.
At its best, at the moment, we have collected some of the Master of Magic questions, and we're going to address them later on as well. So all the questions
Unannounced game.
We're
Unannounced game.
either answering them today
Unannounced
or
game.
on Thursday at tea time. But I'm here also to announce something new. So
here we go.
Before
what do you think it's going to be?
Something new. Let's take a look at a brief teaser trailer.
Oh my god, please be cool. Please be cool. I'm on the edge of my seat. I've taken my feet off the foot hammock. Okay, it's medieval. This is definitely another Field of Glory, right? Actually, I don't know if this is an unannounced game. I think this is the just a teaser trailer for something else. Because I think he said, we'll announce a new game, but first here's a teaser trailer. A new grand strategy wonder. Maybe it was Tolkien's Beowulf. What are we thinking? I think this looks like the art style for Field of Glory. I can't lie. Anyone played Field of Glory? Anyone played it much? Just me? No? The rise and fall of medieval nations. I mean, this is a teaser trailer. Okay, yeah, it is the new Field of Glory. Honestly, come on. That... Why? But why? Can't it show something more than, you know,
Hey Neil.
Good afternoon, Marco.
Neil is
that,
senior
please?
for the Field of Glory franchise, so we've been working on Field of Glory for quite some time.
I hope they show some gameplay of this thing.
Probably the worst kept secret, and people have been asking for it for a long time. And the reason we haven't been talking about it for a long time is we've been doing a lot of work to get it up to the standard it needs to be.
Yeah, and I mean the guys. I mean we have Pocus in the room now, and Ivan also the main artist on the game, and they've been working on it. So how long have been the game been in development?
Well, it's been in development more or less since we shipped the Persia DLC for the Fog Empires, and whilst I was in charge of that, I can't even remember how long ago that was now.
It's a long time ago. Yeah, and we didn't say anything about it because you know we tend to try not announce games like too long before their release.
Wait a second.
Now we have.
This is the unannounced game
when the game's going beta
that they put in the trailer for this live
This is
stream.
the right moment to announce it. The game has taken shape, and we know what the major design pillars are. We didn't just want to take Empires and move the story a few.
Alright, so we've got a new medieval strategy game. That's all we know so far. Field of Glory has been pretty successful in the past. I mean, this is like the 5th or 6th game in the Field of Glory franchise or something like that, because I think there's 2 medieval ones and a normal one. Let me actually have a look. Let's have a look, shall we? Field
at the start of the game.
of
Religion
Glory.
is now a much bigger part of the game. It's a central pillar of what
Where
we do
is all
with,
the Field of
Fog
Glory
Kingdom,
games?
because obviously it was such an important part of life at that time. So the battle between religions, the struggle primarily between Christianity and Islam, but also there are various other competing factions, forms a large part of the game.
We've got some screenshots. One of the things I want to ask. Before
So
we show the
currently
screenshots,
you've got
how
Field of Glory,
final work are
Empires,
these screenshots that's
Field of
using
Glory,
today?
One of the things we've
Field of
been,
Glory 2,
working very hard on
Field
for
of
a
Glory
long
2,
time is to
Immortal
bring the
Fire,
game
Field
up
of Glory
to
2,
an
Legions
acceptable
Triumphant,
standard,
Field of
and,
Glory 2, Age
it's
of
been a lot of
Belsaris,
work to
Field
do
of Glory
that.
2
We've had to do an
Complete,
awful lot of
Field of
work
Glory
on
2
that.
Rise of Persia, Field
Ivan
of
in
Glory
particular has
2
been
Wolves at
working
the
very
Gate,
hard
I'm assuming these are all
UI
stuff,
to
and then
give
Field of Glory
more
2
medieval
Medieval.
feel.
So Field of Glory is once again going medieval, which I think is a good sign, but I'd like to see some gameplay, please.
is definitely taking shape. I don't think it's finished yet, but certainly
We've got a
ready to
video of the map. It's just a
Oh,
small
here we
video,
go.
or
Show
some
us something.
Screenshots are showing the map as well.
Show
so
us.
Might be good to sort of start showing. I don't think we're going to comment on anything specific about screenshots we're going to see, but we want to sort of delve into, you know, how the game is structured. You know, what people can expect from the game.
So there's various changes in this game. We've tried to take things that people didn't like and make them better. I think the most obvious area where we've done that compared to the original Empires game is in the system of trade goods. So no longer will one mine supply all of Western Europe, all of your territories. You don't get bogged down in micromanagement, but it makes a bit more sense. Another issue where fans had problems in the...
I'm worrying that they're not going to show any gameplay of this, guys.
And the way the buildings appear.
If they don't, I'm going to sneeze really loud.
A specific building that you wish to build, it will cost you some of your authority points. Authority is the replacement that we have for the culture and decadence ratings, which was very well received in the previous game, a mechanism to stop the game snowballing, which is often a problem in 4X games. The closer you get to the end, the more powerful you are, or the more hopeless your case is. Empires worked very well in trying to curtail that, and we've built a lot on that in terms of how we make that look better now.
Yeah, come on, go full screen with these screenshots if we can. That would make people happy, because I don't think our faces are.
I would certainly agree with that. And
Don't be so harsh on yourself. You've got a beautiful face.
One thing I want to ask.
Right, that's not a screenshot, though, is it?
Campaigns. I mean,
Come on.
People will ask, you know. Well, I guess we
That's
know
not-
what the standard questions are for these sort of
That's
games.
not a screenshot.
Will the
Well,
game
it's a
ship
screenshot, but
campaigns?
it's not a
the
screenshot.
game will ship with campaigns, yes, and it will be more than Empires again. So we will have the main scenario, which will be
Oh!
the main huge.
Oh, here we go. Oh, okay, it's more grand strategy. Okay, I like the look of this. Okay, okay. We're going more medieval Total War strategy map.
You can see the screens here, sort of brighter, more colourful, more influenced by painting and sort of medieval artwork style. You've seen the brightness of colours.
See, I quite like the way this looks.
In the central map we have here, in the gameplay map behind us, and in the intro movie that we showed, which will be a lot of the UI will reflect that look and feel as well.
A bit EU4, yeah.
Like, you know, that's taking a
My
step
guess,
forwards.
and this is complete speculation and guess,
Definitely.
is that they're going to combine the Field of Glory real-time battles with this grand strategy kind of thing. So you recruit your troops. Basically, it's medieval Total War, but with turn-based battles instead of real-time battles. But the battles in Field of Glory are pretty fun. It feels like a medieval chess game.
Barely see it on the map at this point, and a lot of programming work has gone into any of those competing small kingdoms within France can eventually rise to unify France. So you can you can take Aquitaine or
Starship Troopers will be coming a bit later, so stick around the stream. And Starship Troopers is going to get. I think they said they're going to show us a full mission.
Here's Venice.
Here's Venice. What better place to be? Venice was almost at the peak of its powers when the game starts. As with Fog Medieval, the game starts after the Great Schism between the Eastern and Western Church in 1054. So yes, Venice was almost at the peak of its powers. We were lucky enough to sail past the Arsenale last night, which will be featuring in this game as well. It will be a very powerful building if you can rise as Venice to build the Arsenale.
One of the things we were discussing earlier was this concept of, you know, rise and fall and legacy. You have to bring forwards, and this was already introduced in Empires, but now, you know, we're taking a further step.
There's a
forward.
lot more work being done on this. The way that you grow, become more powerful, conquering territory is a lot more important than it was in the original game. There are many more criteria by which your ascent to power will be judged.
I mean, we're not getting any gameplay, it seems. However, the map screenshots, they look promising to me. They definitely look promising. I kind of like the way that looks. I mean, not this, the Bay Tapestry. I'm just like... However, I do like the way the grand strategy map looks.
maybe
It looks fancy.
to one of your children or an uncle and give them control, but you're never quite sure of their loyalty, of course. It's not like there's a number.
Is anyone else not sure of their uncle's loyalty? Because if you're not, you're in for a surprise. You're in for a surprise.
Manage all of the competing interests within that is going to be one of the central pillars of the game.
This is like a Resonant video. They're just showing the same screenshots over and over again. Come on, guys.
What Empires was, and bringing these pillars to the next phase. I guess we're still talking WeGo, right?
Absolutely WeGo, yes. I know we don't do so many WeGo games and that we would like to do more, but this is, yes, very much firmly a WeGo game in terms of turn-by-turn gameplay.
What's a WeGo game? That's an acronym for something. WeGo game.
Crazy changes.
What's a WeGo game? Turn-based style of gameplay where orders are given on both sides and then executed simultaneously. Right, okay. It's turn-based but simultaneous turns. I see.
16 players in multiplayer. So, yeah, plenty of opportunity for challenge in there. Before
we thank you and move to another one of your games.
I'm a busy man this afternoon.
and it's going to be me again on the other side of the room. But
then it's Stargate Timekeepers, guys, after this. Stargate Timekeepers.
We are hopeful that it will be early autumn at the moment.
Not too far.
Not too far at all. I have a precise date in mind, but I'm not going to say it here on the stream today.
Don't say anything.
But early autumn, definitely. As I was saying earlier, a lot of work has been done in the background already. We've had somebody researching full-time on this for 6-7 months, which frees up the programming team, of course, to do their work as well. Focus free to concentrate on the gameplay. So a lot is in place now. There's still a lot to happen, but I would hope early autumn we could start a beta.
All right. Well, as my counter says, time up. We have a I think we've announced and said what we can say so far. There's a lot more. There is a product page going live on Steam today, and so people can on our site as well. And I think all the third-party sites are also publishing the product page, so they will.
Okay, Stargate Timekeepers is coming next. I can go make breakfast, come back, and they still just be talking about how much good work they've done. Oh, it's not breakfast time. I'd love to have some breakfast right now. Are you allowed to have breakfast at 3 in the afternoon? No one's allowed to tell me what to do. Screw it. I'm gonna have some Cocoa Pops. Trailer time. Okay, yeah, I like the look of this one. I like the look. Well, Legion looks pretty cool. See, can they show us some of these games? Can they maybe show these? Just looked up Stargate and the game looks really damn good. Well, we're about to see, my friend, Stargate's about to come on screen, and I think we're going to get a full mission of gameplay. Oh no, Mark Nottis has retracted that message. Does he regret saying what he said? Legion was from the 90s. Yes, but they're remaking all of these games. I think. I don't know. Yeah, the release date, June 2022. Slytherin are taking all your favourite old games and remaking them. Your old strategy games. Oh yes, here's the one. Ancient Arenas, Chariots. I am looking forward to that. Oh, don't worry, Mark Nottis. Yes! Yes! Starship Troopers, Terror Command! Give it to me! I'm Broken Arrow as well. See, I'd love for them to show us more gameplay of these ones, because these look great. Here we go, Stargate, we're about to see that one. Honestly, I think Slytherin should just sell to Paradox so their games would be less janky. That's such a pessimistic way of looking at it.
Welcome anyone who's just joined us from either on either our channels or on somebody else's, some of our hosts' channels. thank you for joining us. We've got a pretty busy afternoon.
They're thanking you all. You're welcome.
40 entire minutes of Master of Magic, so you missed that. You're gonna miss it. You're gonna have it available on demand on YouTube after this live stream.
Yeah, of course. Our user enjoyed so much Master of Magic, and of course also Field of Glory Kingdoms. Many comments arrived, and you have time also now to make your questions about the upcoming games, also about the ones you already see.
They're great devs, but it's always shoestring.
In our tea time.
Yeah, but
do you also want to give
I agree. However, selling to Paradox would... I don't know if that would really help. Obviously, straight away it would, right? That initial bit of money. But if everyone just keeps selling their companies to bigger companies, then every game just becomes the same thing. Slytherin are a smaller company that don't have a massive budget, but they are doing something pretty cool. They are championing the old style of game, and as someone that makes videos on historical games, I'm so glad that Slytherin exists, because they're still making historical games in an era where everything has to be sci-fi or future or modern shooters.
What are the improvements since the original Master of Magic?
Wow, this is a good question. This is one for the developers, but I think I can answer this by saying that really what we're trying to do is take the original Master of Magic to the 21st century, so almost sort of copying what the game was in terms of gameplay and mechanics, but improve everything else that was, you know, that needs an upgrade in technology. So AI, pathfinding, stuff like, you know, anything that has to do with how slick the game runs, the UI, the art, but the overall underarching game is really Master of Magic. So that's a cool part of it, really. What we're trying to do, this project is with Muha Games, is really bring this gem back to the players in its original shape.
Yeah, and it's really beautiful. I love the colors, graphic. It's amazing.
Ooh. We're gonna somebody wasn't supposed to be here now. Got other questions on Master of Magic?
Master of Magic, for example, this is a question. Let's see.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure why they're doing questions now.
Sorry, Master of Magic.
I can't answer these questions. I don't know anything about.
I can.
I love that. So what they've done here is, throughout all the games they've been showing off, they've asked for questions, and then they're reading out the questions, and the host is obviously, he's just a host. He's just here to, you know, do his job, and he's not a developer for any of these games. And they just said, that's the question. I don't know. No problem, Paolo. Nice to see you in chat. We've had a lot of discussions about the two games that have been shown so far. It's been good.
And last question, maybe it's the more difficult.
Let's see. I've got 30 seconds. Can we make it?
It's only yes or no.
This guy, he's so efficient. he was trying to keep the stream together.
It's not impossible.
I love it.
We've got a game that's not easy to port to consoles, in the sense that it's got a pretty complex UI, so it's not a slam dunk, but we're definitely thinking about it.
Okay, thank you. So.
No problem. I
love this guy.
As I am doing this on the fly, I've got 5 seconds left. I'm
Go on, mate.
going to
4,
move to
3,
the other
2,
room
1.
and play some Stargate.
Time's up.
Yeah, go fly.
But it is time, everybody, for Stargate Timekeepers. Are you ready? Oh, we've got an Alienware ad. I've not been paid to promote Alienware or Intel. Get it off my screen. Here we go. Stargate Timekeepers.
After the release of genre-defining TV show Stargate SG-1, prepare to embark in a whole new adventure spanning time and space in turn-based tactics game Stargate Timekeepers. Please welcome on stage senior producer Neil McKenna and director of marketing Marco Manoli.
Marco. Hello. Look at his face. He loves it. I always think that people that work in game development in like a studio like Slytherin, that's not, as we said, not like massive AAA, but it's like a bit below that, and sort of in terms of their budget and stuff, They must just love their... I'd love to do that, because at that level, you're making enough to earn a full-time wage off, but you're still doing it because you love it, and that's cool. Love your vid, been watching since your first Bannerlord dev blog. Thank you, Tyrese, I really appreciate that. Oh, we've come a long, long way. I'm joking, we haven't. We're still making Bannerlord videos.
Hello there.
Love Stargate, hope the game is good.
But I missed my microphone, so I didn't know where it was.
I just about got a microphone in time.
So I've got this. I hope it's going to be enough.
So here we are. I was just saying at Christmas we had introduced the game and shown a couple of videos, introduced some of the characters we'd shown so far, and I was just getting to the point where I was going to say that today we're going to build on that by showing a good chunk of live gameplay on it.
Okay, guys, we've been waiting for it. We're going to get some gameplay. It's all great. I've actually never seen Stargate. I think it's a TV show, right?
Sorry, the Stargate game.
God, that's loud.
Before we jump in, I want to sort of step back and say, what did we, for anyone who didn't watch the stream on, was it December last year?
It was December last year, yes.
What did they miss, and you know, what are they going to see today?
We showed an introduction to the Stargate game and the basic mechanics of the game. That it's a game with a lot of stealth mechanics in, where teamwork is essential. You control a number of different characters within the team. Teamwork is essential to solving the levels. It gave some flavour of what the levels felt like, that they were very different worlds. We showcased 2 very different planets that day, and the way you have to play very differently depending on the environment. How you would go around solving problems, the trade-off between stealthy approaches and violent approaches. And just a sort of a brief introduction to a couple of set pieces, I think it would be fair to say.
Yeah, I think, okay, so that's as we jump into the game, I think that what we're going to... Okay, let's take a look
We're
at
actually getting straight into the game. That's awesome.
Resistance planned to sabotage a barbaric ritual, the ceremony of fire.
Did you plan to stop this ritual from happening?
Not exactly. A direct assault on Moloch would have been unwise at that time. We wanted to save the prisoners by stealth.
What was the plan?
Our part was to get inside the camp, undercover. Up close, we could scan the appearance of one of Moloch's generals.
Here we
and use
go.
a memetic device to take on a holographic disguise. That way, we wouldn't get hassled by the goons. The job required someone with both technical know-how and a flair for the dramatic. Luckily, our team included such a man. Sam Watson, our technical officer, old buddy of mine. Once inside, we do the same impersonation routine with a memetic device on the High Priestess, Severta. She was conducting the ritual. With Sam acting as her, we could stall the proceedings while the kids were taken to safety.
All right, what better introduction than this, I guess?
Well, indeed, it's designed to be an introduction, after all. It does introduce, obviously, what you have to do in the level with a stealth game. It's vitally important that people understand fundamentally what they
Come on.
have to do.
Come on.
We have a number of cutscenes.
Let's
throughout
not
the
break
game,
now.
And we also have audio introductions. One of the things we touched on at Christmas was how our game, which is telling a new story within the Stargate universe, still has a number of touch points with the original TV series. And I think today is another good example of that. Your mission here today is to stop a ceremony of fire.
So this is more of like a
does get
top-down
in the
kind of
episode
thing.
Birthright in I think Series 8 of the TV series. Moloch, the Gwald system lord who controls this planet, we're on planet Haktil here, has decreed that all Jaffa girls should be burned alive.
So they all Jaffa girls?
They are useless to him. Only
Are they the same as Jaffa cakes?
girls must be burned alive. It's therefore up to your Stargate team.
Hello, Stubborn Funky Donkey. How are you doing? We are currently watching Slytherin's reveal stream of some new games. We've seen Master of Magic. We've seen Field of Glory Kingdoms, a new medieval grand strategy. This is Timekeepers.
One of the
Time.
challenges we had when we were working out what we were going to show today was
Time.
how we were going to cram a whole level into a mere 45 minutes, as there simply isn't time realistically to play through from start
These are
to
pretty
finish.
big, yeah. So what are we seeing now?
We are seeing the camp here. We're introducing 2 new characters today who are, we have Max, who is the sniper. Max Bolton is our sniper. He made a brief appearance at Christmas as one of the supporting characters. He has some typical sniper characteristics. He is very good at killing people from a long way away, which is vitally important for a sniper. Given that kind of role, he has very much the grizzled veteran about him and the sort of the hard-bitten cynicism you would expect. He's also hooking up with his buddy Sam Watson today.
He's hooking up with his buddy? I mean, don't we all do that on a Friday night, am I right?
Sam is a much more cunning character. He uses a number of technological tricks to be able to
Are we going to start the mission?
achieve his mission objectives.
Are we start? Am I being impatient? Probably.
Sam and
Oh, here we go.
Great names indeed for gaming characters. They have something of a wisecracking
It
relationship.
is the Jaffa General.
Having assessed all the options,
I'm assuming this is very much involved.
ridiculous. So the plan is that
The Jaffa General.
to try and get into
I'm assuming this is all about the TV show.
here.
But Jaffa General sounds amazing. I think that's my nickname.
It will be up to Sam to incapacitate that general and then use his mimetic scanner so that he can take on the appearance of a Jaffa general. This will fool most of the foot soldiers around the map. The Jaffa warriors and the general grunts will be fooled by this. However, the Jaffa generals themselves are not, for the most part, quite so stupid. So they will still spot you.
Ah, Jaffa have worms in their tummies, alien worms.
Sam needs to get up
Right,
there.
anyone that's watched
He needs
the
to
TV show,
general
fill me in. What's it about?
scan him so he can proceed into the camp.
Come on, Annie. Come on. Let's see the magic.
So as you can see, you can control more than one character simultaneously. We didn't show any of that last time. I think this map shows.
I wanna
again
know what
well
Stargate
the importance
Timekeepers is
of
about.
having 2 characters who work together, but will also need to occasionally.
Are they orange or plum flavoured worms, though? Wait, you get plum flavoured Jaffa cakes?
It's kind of classic sort of stealth
Jaffa
mechanics
Cakes
here,
have recently announced
showing where
that
you
they're
can
testing
see,
and potentially bringing out
sort of
white
hard
chocolate
to
Jaffa
go
Cakes,
around
which I think will probably be disgusting, but I love Jaffa Cakes so much that I'm willing to
hide
try
in
them.
bushes and so on and so forth. Unfortunately, Annie, this is a live broadcast, as you can see, has alerted someone. So
Oh, god
yeah, she
damn
needs
it.
to find a brute force
God damn it, Annie.
solution to this problem, I think, because
Which brings the question, I guess. Oh, Annie. Oh, come on.
Annie has alerted somebody. She's going to have to try and find a solution to this problem. Annie just restarts the mission. Good one, Annie.
always going to be a
God
choice
damn it.
of ways to approach any given mission. Almost all missions, there are a few exceptions, but almost all missions you will have a small
Oh, Jeffrey's a what we've got to name himself drink. Oh, awesome.
characters you will need to
Sorry, you probably didn't understand a word of what I was saying there. I was just yawning at the same time.
break down exactly
I've been up
how that works.
pretty early this morning.
But there's each character will be bringing a range of skills, so the characters you choose will define how you go about the mission. When we were preparing this broadcast,
Is this Timekeepers worth a watch?
and it was
Does it hold up?
very different to the way I myself have approached this level. I was genuinely taken aback by, oh, okay. So
No,
you can
sorry,
do that.
Stargate.
I'd
I'm an
like,
idiot. Is Stargate worth a
rather
watch?
sort of more brute force, clumsy approach and slower
course you did.
moving through. But also you can choose to sort of sneak through very slowly individually. You can move your team round as a close-knit unit. The team will always need to work together. But
The alien parasite control humans by living in their head. They have kids through humans and they use them for
there's always more
soldiers.
than one way to solve
What
it.
is this all about?
I guess
This
you
sounds
go through
incredible.
The list of tasks within the map, and that how you achieve these tasks is
Exactly.
entirely up to you.
Your objectives are quite high level. You've got to, in this mission, you will have to disguise as a Jaffa general. You will use that to reach the priestess who is going to conduct the ceremony. You will then knock her out, impersonate the priestess. You will conduct that ritual yourself whilst dressed as a priestess. And hopefully distract.
Stargate was awesome, but it didn't age so well. That's a shame.
So you can save the children. Those are your top level objectives.
Wonder if guys from Slytherin have any vacancies open, might check out. I mean, if you're going to work for a gaming company, I think Slytherin are like the perfect ones to get into it, right?
Little tricks, depending on what character you have. So there's many ways to approach a mission. Broad objectives are, of course, always the same.
One thing that we were sort of looking at was we have to be careful in not spoiling too much of the story, because this is a very narrative, very much of a narrative game. So you don't want to say so much about the story.
Indeed.
So we picked this scenario for a reason. You know, why was it that this specific scenario is because it shows enough.
Put them to sleep. Good job.
We felt that it showed the game well. It's an environment that we haven't showed before. It's, as you can see, a nighttime setting this time around. It showcased new characters. It's a chronological progression from what we've shown before as well. As we touched on briefly last time, the chronology of the game moves around quite a lot. This is a chronological progression from what we have seen before. It's always been a nice looking level. You will recall from early presentations we've done internally, this was kind of one of the first levels we had that looked good. So it's always been a strong contender.
All right. So Annie did something different now. She's gone through this cliff.
Annie has kind of zoomed in here. There's a cliff
outpost
overlooking where you need to be.
Badly explained in 200 characters, but yes, they're worm-like aliens who live far from Earth, and all star travel is through ancient Stargate portals that link planets. That sounds pretty. Sounds very 90s, if you don't mind me saying.
I was distracted, so I don't know whether these.
I worked on Ghost of Tsushima, but want to get into a small and cozy company. Nice.
One other thing
You do coding? Do you do
comes to mind is, how hard
asset design, art, that sort of thing?
Is it hard game? We've got a lot of Stargate fans out there who are looking for just some genuine entertainment, right?
For me.
Oh, 3D modeling. That's awesome. That's awesome.
One thing in my intro, as it were, balancing the challenge of a stealth game to offer the level.
Still waiting for Ghost of Tsushima to come to PC.
Enjoy these games, want to play, and offering a challenge.
Did you like Expeditions Rome? Funnily enough, I have a section in my Steam library that says games to make videos on, and Expeditions Rome is at the top. Just haven't got around to it yet. I've actually had a key for a while before it released.
So we really do want to make the game accessible for both.
But yeah, I just not got around to playing it.
It's absolutely the number one thing I want to achieve.
I've heard it's pretty good. And it, like, from the Steam stuff, it looks pretty nice. I really like the art style of it.
Attached to single characters, right?
Anything that's Rome, though, I'm pretty much sold on. I can't lie.
This one is more about story.
There's so much subtlety involved in making a game like this. Suspend your disbelief. It's a fine line between interesting and dull.
Yes,
I agree.
There's an awful lot of story there. MGM have been very involved in the approvals process. They've been through every line and vetted it, and that they were obviously insisting that it meets the standards that we would expect from a well-respected property like Stargate. We are telling a long story here. We feel it's a good one with a lot of twists and turns, which of course we don't want to reveal, but there's no point in telling that deep, involving story if people have to give up halfway through, because
I quite like the look of this. Right, back in chat again, what we saying, 1 to 10 on Stargate Timekeepers.
Sam's doing very well.
We've had a good amount of gameplay.
He's crouching in the bushes. We can see a civilian there. Civilians, unless they see something explicitly bad going wrong, they'll just leave you.
What happened there?
That's the Zat gun, the stun gun, which Sam carries. So that will briefly stun a Jaffa general, which is your window of opportunity to get up behind him. And
you don't have to apologise, Wingfoot. You can be as brutal as you want. I didn't make it.
There's Sam in the bottom left-hand corner now. His avatar in the bottom left-hand corner is now in disguise. The figure in the playfield as well is now in disguise. So you see these guys now, they're chill.
Yeah, that's really good. Good job, Annie.
Smoothly done. There is something, a meeting of souls.
What about 40k Chaos Gate? Not heard anything of that recently. I don't think it's going to show up today.
How bold the guy is now. Yeah.
Oh, you need some nerve to be crawling around in a camp, certainly. Annie is zooming in here to another Jaffa General. You are in disguise, so you will see the eye icon above the Jaffa General's head. Essentially, that means he is not fooled by your disguise. Normal rules still apply, so you can crouch, crawl through the broken part of his view cone, but if you're in the solid part of his view cone, he's going to spot you. So there's an awful lot going on here, mainly civilians. You're in a civilian part.
Oh, Annie's been... Oh, uh-oh.
I think something went wrong.
Annie's been spotted. It's all gone wrong.
I think Annie may be in trouble here.
Yeah, Annie is in trouble. God damn it,
There's
Annie.
another guy
Look
up
at her.
around the corner.
She's having great fun, though.
I think he may have spotted you, the other fellow.
Annie. Well, that's good. It's
These
good.
things
We're
happen when
live.
it's
We're live.
live.
So
We are
basically,
live.
how does that? So basically, once you complete one objective, you can restart from that objective.
Well, you can save pretty much anywhere.
Okay,
It's a vitally important part of a
So
game
Annie
like this.
actually did this to show us how the save process works.
When we were setting up earlier, I did say do make sure to fail a couple of times.
Yeah.
So it all looks
Okay.
real.
That's that. That's what I do in all my videos, by the way, guys. If you see me playing badly, I just wanted to sort of show off the fail state of the
So
game.
this candidate,
I'm going to use that every time.
go to Svidra's house.
Svidra is the priestess. So you already know that your next objective is to get through the gate that we saw in the top right-hand corner there. That's been explained in audio in the fly pass at the start. So that's part of your route onto the gate.
So what is Max doing all this time?
Max is, well, as Sam would put it, he's essentially loafing around, but there Max is over there, keeping an eye out on things. He will be there to clear the way for Sam when he comes.
I don't like games like this. I just like to see the lore in the game.
On the bottom
Yeah, I get that.
right-hand corner, you see the map and the
I like
scope
some games like
is,
this,
looking at
but it's
what
all
the
down
game
to how
does.
smooth the gameplay feels for me, really.
It really is very big indeed. I think even trying to speed run this when you know exactly what you're doing, we wouldn't have been able to fit it all into this time slot. So we're expecting that each mission, for an experienced player of games of this type, when coming to the game for the first time, it's probably going to take them at least an hour of challenge. So we've got a strong campaign, we feel, with a good amount of challenge in here.
Whilst Annie's trying to sort herself out there, when is the game going beta?
So the game is more or less feature complete at this point.
And that's how you get
Everything
third
that
on
needs
shot
to
in the
be
head
there
at
is in
Helm's
there,
Deep.
with the
Look,
exception of,
I don't know what was going on in that video. I think I might play that mission again because I didn't have that much time to record that video. But also, I got sniped. That you saw 2 times. I played that mission like 4 or 5 times. Every time I got sniped in the head by an orc crossbowman. Must just be the way the modders coded the orcs.
see what we think about
It was mental.
But I would hope that we will be in a position to beta this at some stage in the summer. It's coming relatively
it's not
soon.
too far away.
I really
Well,
don't think it's
we know
too
that
far
July
away.
is a big anniversary for SG1, is it?
July is, I am quite frightened to remember 25 years, I think,
25
from
years, yeah.
SG1. I can well remember watching it on television when it was a new thing, and suddenly that's 25 years ago. So yes, July is indeed a big date in the Stargate calendar, so it would be lovely to have something ready for then, but of course we need to make sure that it's ready for public
Well,
consumption.
in terms of my opinion,
Something bad
I would say
Yes, I think
a 7. I'm going to go 7 out of 10. Normally, I'm not that tied into kind of games like this. However, I do like the stealth elements. I'm a big stealth guy, and a game that really you've messed that one up. A game that really focuses on stealth, I am a bit of a fan of.
I think you should be popping out this tent, guns blazing, and killing everyone.
You're not going to get very far by guns blazing. That's. There are elements of violence you will always need to use. There are elements of stealth you will always need to use. How exactly you will go about that will always be a part of the challenge. We can see there that obviously a guard is alerted by seeing not just you, but by seeing a body on the floor there.
So what happened there now?
Well, as Annie was tying a character up, one of the guards spotted something untoward going along there.
Right now she's managed to
sneak off behind there whilst they were concerned about the body itself. And, now they've got no real idea where to go. They will continue to be irate for a while and come looking for her. However, Annie is going to
sneaky.
the next cutscene as a sort of useful point.
That was a bit of a disappointing takedown. You hate stealth games. I love stealth games. I mean, Assassin's Creed doesn't really count as a stealth game. It's kind of stealth. You can do some stealth in it, but Splinter Cell, goddamn love Splinter Cell. Thief, great series as well. Once again, a stealth game. Hitman, yes. I mean, Hitman is one of the most brilliant franchises, especially when they brought back, did the remake, and then somehow they made the remake better than the originals. It's great.
Wargamers as an assistant to Eva in Mission 2. As a Jafar, she's faster and stronger than the Tauri characters, the Earth characters. She is good at, she can pickpocket characters.
I own Hitman on 3 different platforms, Hitman 3 on 3 different platforms, just because it's, there's never a bad time for Hitman.
Yes, she too has her range of abilities.
Okay. What's your favorite character?
My favourite character, I must admit that I like the grizzled cynicism of Max the sniper.
All right,
for some reason, I find that quite relatable.
Oh, again. I mean, you've got lots of corpses around here.
Well, it's a dirty business, unfortunately. Whilst you do have the option, Sam does have the option, whilst dressed as a general, to distract some of the foot soldiers with chit-chat. It's not generally an option.
But can you give a samurai tummy ache? I can try my best. I've never played any Metal Gear Solid games. I know that sounds terrible, but I never have.
Well, this is a night mission.
If I was going to play Metal Gear Solid, which one should I start with?
Does it influence how you play the game?
It doesn't. Night doesn't particularly know. The challenges still remain the same. It's not like you can creep around easily at night and just do what you want, and they have a field of vision only that far in front of them. That just doesn't really work from a gameplay perspective. So the night thing is more or less visual, really, just showcasing a difference. You will still be up against a very similar level of challenge.
In this mission now we have 3 characters, and this is mission number.
This is mission number 3.
3,
as
right?
well,
So
yes.
Further into the game, how many characters will you be controlling at the same time?
I think, off the top of my head, that there are never more than 3 to control at any one time. There might possibly be one of the later missions where you are controlling 4. Probably got the developers going mad in the chat at me at the moment, but as I say, there might possibly be one with 4, but there's a lot to take care of. Any character is almost inherently a risk. A character is something that can be discovered, so trying to manage 4 of those can be something of a challenge. So 3 seems, from our testing so far, to be about the right balance.
Yeah.
It depends what comes up in beta, of course.
Yeah, of course, yeah. So what's happening here now?
So what's happening here is that Atar is sneaking around. We have, I was again distracted. I think somebody has been blinded, is that right? So our sniper has blinded somebody with a flashbang from over there.
I did that, but I did it with chili sauce instead of a flashbang.
Blue view code.
It works much better. The military would save a lot more money if they used chili sauce instead of flashbangs, you know.
To sort of illustrate. There you go. Well, he's recovered now by the time I thought to ask. But you can the sniper has an ability not just to shoot people where you will leave a corpse that will be discovered if you can't get to it, but he can fire a flashbang that will severely limit a guard's view cone for a few crucial seconds, so allowing you to get past. And obviously they'll be on a state of high alert once they recover their vision.
All right.
So there are a number of new skills in play, which I think
So just take a look at the UI there, whilst we take a look at the scene. So the UI, you've got like on the left-hand side, you've got a list of characters you've got available. Selecting one of the characters will open their available kits.
Graphically, it looks pretty nice.
Yes,
I think it looks pretty good.
It's very clear to see who you're controlling. You have the tab of 3 characters on the left-hand side. They all have a signature colour.
Okay.
One of the peculiarities of Slytherin is that we only hire colourblind producers. It's company policy, seemingly. So we always make sure that even for colourblind people, this works well.
I mean, that's
so
a weird process.
Colour,
Hello.
So almost immediately you know who.
I've come in for a job interview at Slytherin Games. Are you colourblind? No, I'm not. Get out. We only hire the colourblind. I think they should take it a step further and only hire the blind, so then they've got to make good games that even blind people will enjoy.
In disguise, for example, you could see what he was disguised as. So you always know what your characters are doing. Your skills are...
Have a good one, Crazy Energy. Cheers for popping by.
Just mapped to a number of numbers. Each character has unique abilities. It's not like everybody can stun and everybody can scan people's memories and so on and so forth. So yes, every character has their advantages and disadvantages.
I think I really always loved the scenario art, but also starting to. I'm pleased to see that all the animations and such are really shaping up to be pretty high standard now.
I've been really pleased with the progress we've made, particularly on animation recently. We've made sort of huge strides on that, and even in the last few days as we've...
Has Slytherin hired new people since 1997? You'd think so, because they make a lot of games, or at least they publish a lot of games.
We received it in time.
So I'd hope so. Oh, look like bright, young-faced people.
Always. It was the first thing I learned, probably also about 25 years ago, is always have a plan B in this business.
Especially if you're playing Stargate.
So absolutely, a lot will go wrong. That is the nature of the game. So you have to learn to manage that. A lot of stealth games are always in your face and telling you to save every 30 seconds and so on. And we've chosen not to do that so far. We didn't particularly like the way it worked. Again, we'll have to see how that goes in beta and see what the community think of that, whether it's something they would prefer to see more up front or not. So that's definitely something I'm looking forward to community feedback on.
I think the other thing, I was looking at the different scenarios we've got, and there's a lot of variety as well. It's not like, showing this doesn't give you a full idea of the game, because the game has so many different situations, varieties of landscapes and scenarios. It's crazy, right?
It really, everything is different.
I thought it was 4 guys churning games out for 25 years. Well, it seems like we've seen all 4 of them in this video, in this stream.
Yeah,
if that's the case.
Completely different, but it doesn't feel like it's different for the sake of it. Each different landscape brings different challenges. It advances the story in a sensible fashion. Bear in mind also the time loop mechanism on which we touched briefly in December. You'll be able to go back and replay previous missions anyway, so it's not enough to have a small variation of level artwork style because you're already able to go back and replay those levels with new technologies and with new knowledge to get a new challenge out of those anyway. So the variety in landscapes, it really is fantastic. I think it's one of the strongest features of the game.
Yeah, I think most of these games have this, repeat scheme, right? There's these types of games have a setting, and almost the setting is dictating the landscapes, the scenarios, the characters, and so on. With Stargate, we have the luxury of exploring different planets and
Absolutely.
and such, right?
As you were talking then,
Do I have any recommendations for Warband mods? Warband mods. Clash of Kings, if you like Game of Thrones. Bellum Imperii, if you like Romans. Flores Expanded, if you like native Warband, but you just want to get more out of it. Peloponnesian Wars, if you like Greeks. Galactic Conquest, if you like Star Wars. What else have we got? I'm just trying to do this off the top of my head. Blood in the West, or Third Age, if you like Lord of the Rings. Third Age is a bit better, but Blood in the West I prefer because it's just a bit simpler. It's basically just a reskin of native.
It's the first time we publish a game with such a deep,
Warsword Conquest, if you like Warhammer Fantasy. That's a cool one. Warsword Conquest.
I think this is really delivering on the Stargate idea. You know, Stargate is a narrative-driven universe.
I've been very taken aback by the depth of affection that people hold Stargate in and how much it means to so many people, not just in the fan community, but also at MGM and now at Amazon as well. There's a lot of love for Stargate internally. People are very keen that we make the best game that we can to do justice to the Stargate community. So yeah, it's a big challenge, a big responsibility. But,
yeah. But talking about MGM, we've got I got a video message from a friend of ours at MGM.
Yes,
so we're gonna play that, and we'll be right back.
Hello, my name is Matt Group, and I'm the Director of Production for Interactive Games here at MGM. We could not be more excited to be telling a new story with original characters set in the SG-1 universe through Stargate Timekeepers. It truly has been a pleasure working with the team to bring this exciting new title to life. Today is a special day where you'll be able to see new details about the game. We really hope you enjoy it.
Oh, we're going on to the next thing.
Yeah, you were.
I'm going on to the next thing.
Wow, this is gonna kill me. Where are we? I don't remember. While I was doing the Stargate thing, I was like,
yeah.
I don't remember
So
what I had
we've
to do
got
next.
left another unannounced game, which is exciting. What are they going to announce in that one? And then we got Starship Troopers, which is the one that I'm looking forward to.
Say hello to our friends watching us. Wow.
This is Max. This is the famous Max. Look, you don't want to get close to him when he's got that look.
Yeah.
He looks a bit like Julia when you're late on a live stream. Look at that. It's like
you're right.
What?
You're right. He's totally like Julia. Oh,
Yeah.
this is Julia. The other one was Enzo.
Yeah. All right. So a couple of things we've got to talk about on Stargate, right?
Yes.
We've got some questions you noted here for me.
I've got some questions. Of course, Stargate is a very anticipated game. For example, let's see. I read them by myself. For example, when is the game set?
In Stargate times.
I tackled this in a previous live stream. It's the game takes from the Battle of Antarctica on SG-1 Series 7, I think it was.
Okay.
At the end of Battle of Antarctica, another group of members of another team are taking on another adventure, and that's the starting setting for the game.
Okay.
And then after that, it's all new and all brand new. So there are some references to that SG-1, but the characters are all brand new.
Wow, it's amazing. And another question that is, I think, a question that can interest many of our followers: when will the beta available?
Yeah, well, we will start. We're seeing that with Neil in the stream before when we were showing the game. We are planning to go beta around this summer.
Yeah.
For the celebrations of the 25 years of the release of Stargate SG-1, and but yeah, I mean, with games like this, there's a lot of there's an awful lot of fine-tuning to do before you enter the beta phase, but we're confident that that's what we're gonna do.
Okay. We can't wait. Oh my God.
we can make sure that you guys out there are up to date on what is happening. These are all sets of new screenshots we've published and are taken from other scenarios in the game. So you can see quite a lot of different scenarios here.
When will the beta?
Yeah, really.
You need a script. Can't remember the name for War Sword.
Wow.
There's been
Me
a
too.
lot of work into making
You
these
what?
things, really cool places to.
I want to play it now.
Yeah,
Now.
you want to play it now. Yeah.
Another question for you. For example, I've got so many questions. I don't know what to ask you. Oh, any chance Stargate lands on console?
This is going to be a recurring one today.
Yeah, many are asking.
We think that there's chances that Stargate comes in console. I mean, if you take the Master of Magic example I've done before, where the game is kind of complex and very hard to bring to consoles because the UI, definitely Stargate is much more manageable for the port. So it's definitely a possibility. It's PC for the moment.
Can we get some unannounced game, please?
I read just a question before coming here. One of our user was asking, but one of the original actor will be giving his voice to the game or not?
Well, we don't have any of the original SG-1 characters directly in the game, so we don't have that as a need, but we are doing a very accurate job with MGM selecting the actors for the voiceovers in the game, and some of the acting is really impressive, I have to say. It's really coming down really well.
Well, acting is really important for a game, I think.
It is. I mean, you know about acting, and I guess that especially for a narrative-driven game where characters are so important, having some cool voices that go with the characters is fundamental.
Yeah. It gives you the impression to be in the game.
Yeah. It's immersive. Really. Yeah, it's immersivity, definitely. Here's a Stargate in the image.
Yeah, wow. And I think we have a little advertising now.
Yeah.
I think.
And then we're all back here.
Yeah, for you.
Right, great. Very exciting. So next on the stream, let me just turn this down. Goddamn Alienware again. Next on the stream, we're gonna get some unannounced game. I don't know what it's gonna be, which is why it's unannounced. We've had Field of Glory Kingdoms, so I'm all out of guesses of what their next one could be. Do you think they'll just announce Broken Arrow? It's technically already been announced, but they could give us some gameplay or like a full trailer or something like that for it. Broken Arrow looks pretty cool. It will be one of the ones in the opening trailer that they showed us, because that's what they did with Field of Glory Kingdoms. They said it was an unannounced game, but it was in the trailer at the start. So if they show us that again, we'll be able to pinpoint which one it is. And then after that, we finally have Starship Troopers. Which, who doesn't love a bit of Starship Troopers? Especially, I mean, I've done a video on that game, and I've seen a lot of stuff from it. I am really looking forward to it. I really, genuinely am.
You're not shy.
I'm a bit shy.
Sorry, but this is yours, Marco.
This is
I don't
mine.
know.
This is good to me. Do I have to put it on?
Is that a chef's hat?
Yeah, maybe if you want.
gosh.
My name's Chef.
It's not mandatory.
Okay, take this.
Yeah, microphone.
Go on.
Show microphone. I have the power now.
Oh, I love it. My name's Chef. Honestly, has anyone seen the film Chef? I think Chef is one of the most underrated and brilliant films of all time. I'm not even saying that as a joke. I love Chef. Chef is a gargantuan of a movie. It is so beautiful. If you've not seen Chef, it's got Jon Favreau in it, Scarlett Johansson. I think Robert Downey Jr. is also in it a bit.
We have lots of news about this, right?
Yes. The reason why Mark is wearing a hat is not
Just
that
watch
he's
it.
becoming
Watch
a
Chef.
cook, but
He is a part-time chef, it seems.
some kind of reason, because it will host the World Gaming Cook.
Yes, we're basically, because Tea Time is being so successful, what we're trying to do is open up to new formats in video streaming and video on demand.
Yes.
And meaning that we have new shows
Yes.
coming, and I guess we're starting from Wargaming Cook because
Yes.
it's kind of funny way of
Yeah.
interacting with the audience in a different way, I guess. So
Can we see
Wargaming
more
Cook will
chef
be a
details?
30 minutes video on demand YouTube show, where we are going to host a popular host for our audience, someone who's relevant in terms of either topics to talk about, passions, interests, not necessarily linked to our industry, but in general, someone who can relate to our players in a way. And we're gonna have a chat whilst cooking some Italian recipes.
Wait, we are actually getting...
Yes, just simple stuff.
We're actually getting
Okay.
chef
too
stuff?
fancy,
Like mom's cooking.
Mum's cooking is a good idea.
Okay,
Yeah.
so
Oh,
that's
Mama's-
also,
Mama's
cooking
kitchen.
Italian
Martha's
food.
Mama's Kitchen.
Oh,
Yeah. And you're also doing something,
do
right?
you know what?
I have,
Let you into a little secret. I actually just nipped to
I will
the
do
loo
in
then.
this room
It's
with
been a
Julia.
long stream. I nipped to the
That will be
toilet.
a weekly program. It will
And I
be
was thinking, right, what am I going to have for
it
dinner tonight?
depends, on the week.
And I've had
I will be
carbonara for the last
woman of
couple
Israel.
nights
I will
because it's all
announce
I've got in.
someone coming
And I was
new.
like, I can't have carbonara for the third night in a row.
Dates,
But
we
now
talk about
now I've realised,
plans
yes,
and
yes, I
some
goddamn
sides,
can. I can
so
make
yeah,
myself
I hope
carbonara
it's
if I want.
You've been using
Mmm,
Instagram stories as
cheese
well,
and
Yeah,
egg
yeah.
with
Like,
pasta and
I
a
think we're using
pancetta.
the cool
Bit
thing
of
about
garlic
visuals
in
is
there,
that
bit
we
of
like
lovely
we
bit of
have
seasoning,
format
salt the
every
pasta, you
Monday
know.
morning.
Yeah.
People will be able
Mix it
to
all up.
check what is
Oh, it is
happening
beautiful. And then of course you need some. Well, you
Yeah,
need
it's a way
parmesan
to
within
be in contact
within
with
the
people
egg
week long,
to make the
because we
beautiful
will
sauce.
have,
But then you
tea
need
with
grated
Julia
cheese on
Monday,
top.
tea
If you
time,
guys need any
on,
chef
Thursday
tips,
with
let me know.
Marcos.
Maybe I should start a cooking channel
You
called
will have
Resonant
many
Cooks.
opportunities to,
Maybe that's what we need.
interact with
Maybe
us
that's
and
maybe I'll start that
to
channel and no one will
ask
subscribe to it.
comments, questions, and so it's a good way to stay in contact.
And we also have something
Bit like the
that's
Shorts
dedicated to our
channel,
community members
ironically.
with,
Yeah.
a format called What's Your Mod.
Yes, yes. We will play some our mod, and this will be hosted by Edmond.
Our
The
wonderful
FPS channel is doing pretty well. The FPS channel is monetized. Can we all have a hell yeah?
in
If you haven't
20
already.
minutes,
Robaz does
Edmund.
cooking videos. Does
It's a long
he?
name, but it's a
Does
good
he? By the way, if you haven't already.
And he's,
Subscribe to the
he's going
FPS
to do
channel.
this, you
It's
know,
going great.
playing
I'm really enjoying it at the
mods,
moment. Let's see.
of some
Robaz
popular mods
cooking.
on our games. And so that
Oh,
we
he
just, I
does.
think, give back to the community into what
Do you think they'll have a go at me if we
what
quickly
they,
watch?
give to us, because we publish
Make
games with
spaghetti?
some modding possibilities.
No, it's fine. It's fine. Just quickly. Just very quickly.
Russian Urals. But here I am, back with more good cooking advice.
Don't worry, Slytherin, if you're watching this, we'll still have your stream up and we'll go back to it as soon as something happens.
Today,
Are we
I'm
paying
making
attention?
my version of a Swedish meat sauce. In the States, it might take a few hours to make a meat sauce. Here in Sweden, it takes minutes.
When I first saw PewDiePie, I thought of him as Robaz.
This is easy. Just leave the
What did
stems
I
on
miss?
and
Well,
cut
Slytherin
it
are
once.
doing
Preferably with
a stream where they're showing off cool RTS games, but they're having a quick break and doing a bit of a chat at the moment. So we decided to watch Robaz make spaghetti. I don't have a cooking channel. I don't have a cooking channel. I do love cooking though.
Now I'm only using ceramic and stainless. It is a bit reflective though, so is my face in there? I really wish I had more space next to my stove.
Oh, he needs a. Surely he can.
It's a bit
When was this? 2021. This guy's got 1.5 million subs. Surely he can have like a get himself a nicer kitchen to give himself more space. I mean, he's obviously a very humble guy that just doesn't splash out the cash. But come on, you just get like a big surface so you can make some nice meatballs, stuff like that.
Squeeze down your spaghettis. What the fuck?
Oh, we've got to have a pause. Stuff's going on. Stuff is happening. Sorry. Don't worry, if there's another break or pause in the showing. Oh, Warhammer 40k Tyranids. Oh, it's so beautiful. We'll go back to Robaz. We might finish the stream with his spaghetti making as well. The Terminator game looks interesting. When I made a video on it, people were kind of like skeptical about, oh no, it's gone on the wrong screen. I don't think nice things are legal in Sweden. This is some pretty good beats. I really hope this doesn't get copyrighted though. Are they going to be really mean and copyright me?
Right, back live. We are going to move to the final phase of this event. We have about 1 minute to say, just quickly recap what we've seen. So we've seen Master of Magic, entire 40 minutes of gameplay.
New games being announced.
Able to
Hype.
See again or watch again on YouTube once the event is over. Hopefully tomorrow I will upload everything, but if you want to watch the whole event, then you can do it straight away on Twitch and YouTube as well. Then we also did some we announced Feel Glory Kingdoms. The first time we've shown the game screenshots. We've had a nice chat with Neil about it. This was, as we said, one of the worst kept secret in the industry. But I think the comments on the live chat were really pleasing and positive. So I'm
I think the comments were pretty positive. But I would have liked to see some gameplay.
We've showed about 30 minutes of Annie trying to sneak into an enemy camp
What do we think this last unannounced game is going to be? Will it be another Warhammer 40k game? I would really like that.
So, before we move on, just very quickly, if you want to ask for, give the hashtag.
Hashtag HowLive to 2022. Okay, and also I remind you our social channels: Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and Twitch. Interact with us, ask questions, hear your voice.
Now we have a little surprise for you, which is this is the second worst kept secret in the industry.
Here we go.
Probably. I think this probably gets the grand prize, but who knows. So I have a trailer for you, which is a teaser we showed back in December with a little bit of a reveal, and then we'll have Neil back on stage to talk about the game.
What's it gonna be? Dust? Oh yes. Yes. We have Chariots of the Arena, whatever it's called. I am looking forward to this. Let's watch this. Ancient Arenas Chariots. Interesting. Now, it looks cool, but I hope they show some gameplay, because I would love to see how they're going to approach that gameplay. Because for me, that's a pretty hard one to get right. Chariot racing within a game. But I guess we'll find out after this little Alienware ad.
We've done one badly kept secret of the day, which was Fog Kingdoms. We now have the second badly kept secret of the day, which is... We do indeed. Yes, Ancient Arenas Chariots is finally announced. It was teased at Christmas and has been mentioned in the tea time, I think, pretty much every week ever since. So we're here to show a bit of gameplay today.
Yes!
Annie will be...
We're getting gameplay! We're getting gameplay!
In a few minutes' time.
Let's have cheers all around for that.
Take a bit of time to introduce the other side of the game. We're pitching this obviously as a spiritual successor to Quadriga, and we have many of the same
spiritual
features in there,
successor.
Obviously, it looks
to Quadriga.
A bit more up to date now, I think. We've spent a lot of time constructing our models.
Okay, I really like the look of this. So, Quadriga, if anyone doesn't know, is once again like quite an old game. Well, it's not that old.
there's some guy.
But it's essentially chariot racing. However, it's
pretty well.
Well, it's a board game essentially, but there was a game that came out on it as well. So this looks like it's going to be a more updated version. If I'm looking at the Steam page of the current version, so this is also by Slytherin. If you can see this here. However, we're getting something a bit different here. It looks like a bit more updated, a bit more sexy looking.
When you start up the game, you will choose, as in the original game, there's a number of factions you can belong to.
Let's see what they have to say.
A number of specialities you can pick up. That will determine which buildings are available to you, and therefore which of the skills are available to you at first.
And you will be able to upgrade your chariots using all these items, but.
Indeed, you start pretty rough. You start very much at the bottom of the pyramid in the world of charioteering here.
Yeah, we'll be racing in some of the dirty, overgrown tracks. There'll be nothing grand, no Circus Maximuses for you when you start out. But maybe you'll build your way up. Who knows?
What I'm gaining from this is it's Football Manager for chariots, and I have no qualms or queries with that. That sounds great to me.
Shrine, where you can pray for.
In my opinion, graphics could either be retro or stunning. None of that in-between teenage phase of 3D graphics for me. Yeah, but the problem is, like, in a realistic world, I'd agree. However, sometimes it's not possible, right? And not every game you want to be retro. So, if it was available to have incredible Battlefield level graphics to everyone, if anyone can make that, right, then I'd agree. Say, okay, either have that or go retro. But the problem is that's not available to everyone. So what you're saying is go retro. And what if you don't want to go retro? If you want to have like a more realistic looking game. So the best you can get is obviously not quite Battlefield level. I think it looks fine. I mean, the dust looks pretty good. I mean, the horse models are a little bit low res. But it's not supposed to be close up like this anyway. It's supposed to be like a top down thing, I think.
No need for the villa when you don't particularly have anything to manage.
See, they did a good job with Field of Glory too. I think it's just what they're going with here. And these are still apparently early screenshots, but they did say we're going to be getting some gameplay, so I'm holding out for that.
Second brother of whoever's riding against you.
Indeed. Things you can do in the game, I mean, you'll be able to upgrade your chariot, obviously, and upgrade your charioteers' equipment. I know you have your favourites in terms of charioteers' equipment.
I definitely do. There's a really cool lion head helmet that I just know would intimidate my enemies riding down the course, and I need it.
Absolutely. That was one of the first things we insisted on putting in the game, I think. The concept art they had of a lion's head helmets, we insisted they put in for real, which I think was a very good decision overall.
I like to think so.
You can scout around sort of your known world. We have 4 main areas. We have Egypt, Greece, Rome, and Hispania.
I like that, the fact that you can go into separate countries and do different races, and I'm assuming that it looks completely different, the tracks are different, and maybe even the people that you're racing against will have different skills in those situations.
Why would we not? You build up your networks over time, get a better impression of what's out in the different territories in terms of horses, new equipment, charioteers, so on and so forth.
The actual little Riga itself.
Indeed, yes. You've got a lot of different mechanics to balance. There's any number of buildings to upgrade, your equipment, your charioteers, your horse teams. Will work together immediately, but also would stand to have better training, work together, and they can then they improve. They work more harmoniously. They're just more effective. Your lead horse can be trained. Your other horses, your lead horse being your funalis. A word I've learned during the production of this game.
What armour your guy might wear is another pretty important one, because he's probably most likely to get stabbed not wearing his leathers.
Absolutely. It is all is fair in chariot racing, it would be fair to say.
There is absolutely damage done to opponents in any way, shape or form.
You are going to be taking an awful lot of grief out there. Your horses can sustain damage during a race and will. certainly, and your charioteer too. Indeed, we may see it today. It's not unknown for your charioteer to come flying off your chariot completely.
That's what I want to see. Hello, Wild Tackle. So this is Slytherin, who are a company that makes strategy games. They have sponsored a stream, and they are revealing all their biggest new and upcoming games. This is Chariots of the Arena. So it looks pretty cool. It looks pretty cool.
I've seen a few charioteers get mown down.
I want to see some charioteers get mown down. Can we see that, guys?
I'm a little bit of a hothead.
Can you show us, please? That would be great.
Obviously, maintaining the health of your charioteer is vitally important in a campaign. It goes without saying that a charioteer who has been mown down by a pack of horses is not going to be much use to you.
Both charioteers and horses have health bars, and it's things inside like getting whipped by opponents or not feeding them well.
Get whipped by opponents.
Whereas looking after them to the best of your
Jesus
ability
Christ! Right, when we get into this game, we've just got to slash everybody in the head. Look, screw trying to win by speed. You've got to win by whacking people in the head with your whip to get them off there.
Cursed by your own enemies. There's an awful lot out there, so you will need to establish good trade works. You will gain research points by having a meteorology tent, but also by then various race-winning mechanics as well will also grant you points to research new blueprints for better equipment, or indeed just brand new equipment. So how you equip your charioteers is vitally important. Reserve horses, you'll be able to...
So it looks like you will be able to sort of upgrade, equip, almost in an RPG style, be able to grow as a charioteer. They did mention that you'll be starting off in the dusty depths of chariot racing, not really having all that much for you, but eventually being able to go into the higher levels and eventually race in Rome and Spain and all the other racy places.
I think something which is new here. You don't have to play the races at all if you just want to manage through your campaign. If you're keen to get to a new bit of equipment to unlock something, you can simply let the race play out on its own, and you can either spectate on the race or just see what the conclusion was.
You do have the ability to really micromanage and go in, but if you really just enjoy racing the horses, then that is also just an option.
So,
there's a wealth of details seen
who wants this game? We're going 1 to 10 again. 10 being looks great, 1 being nah, not really bothered. Like 6 actual people died in the production of the Roman chariot race and seen it in Ben Hur. I've heard this. I'm assuming you don't mean the main one, right? I mean the new one, not the main one. The main one's the 59 one, like you mentioned.
And work their way out of the flea pits into the most glorious of hippodromes around the world. Something we have here is one of the better ones, although we do have certain very grand ones as well across the different territories. Coming together quite nicely. We are not too far, I think, from being able to beta it now.
We're looking.
So it's not too far away either. It's not too far away. We'll be getting it. Not my kind of game. From vanilla tequila. You know what? I'll put it at a 4 or 5. It's I can't lie. I'm not that interested in chariot racing games. I would love like, I don't know, something that's a bit more in-depth. Obviously, we don't really know because there's no gameplay or anything. They did say they'd show us gameplay, but apparently not. But, yeah. At the moment, I'm at a 4 or 5. If we get some gameplay, maybe we'll go a bit higher than that. Looks fun, but I'm holding on to my money for the Master of Magic remake that might end up being disappointing.
Ancient Arena's Chariots is a unique mix of fast-paced tactical action, clever resource management, and lawless, chaotic racing. Welcome on stage, senior producer Neil McKenna and producer Annie Sims.
I am not Annie Sims.
You are not.
I am. We had to play this because we forgot to play earlier, so we had it the back burner, so we had to play it anyways.
So they did have gameplay.
We are now going to try this moment of.
They do have gameplay?
This is never gonna work.
Yeah.
Okay. So
okay, let's see. Okay, let's hold off our judgment before we see some actual gameplay of this thing.
Things up a little bit.
I agree, Alexander. I agree. The idea is really cool, but from the screenshots, I'm not convinced just yet.
4 or 5, I can't remember.
I think we're doing 5 in total. Yeah.
Hopefully 5. Hopefully 5. It's not. If it's not 5, it's.
Oh, here we go. I think we're actually in the game.
I can see. Are the green ones the ones that joined the lobby?
The greens are ready.
Are ready for the race.
Yes,
okay.
Is that the Angry Joe show playing the game? Interesting. Right, here we go. Is this going to be good? Is it going to sell us? Let's find out. So you play as an individual chariot. It's not really like a management team game, but you can upgrade and equip your chariot with new things, and as you rise up the ranks of being a beautifully powerful chariot player, you can also get better speed, get better horses, get better chariot weight, that sort of thing, I assume. And also, you can get a better whip, it seems, because you can whip other people. Because not only do you have to win the race, but you also have to keep your health up, because people can whip you and destroy you off your chariot.
So we basically are waiting that everyone joins the game.
Yeah, we're just
at the moment we're waiting for Writing Bull, are we?
Yeah, it's only Writing Bull we're missing. Everyone else is ready.
Cool. Okay, cool. So I mean, I trust the Germans, so I have a good faith in the Germans. This is and then we have Annie playing for the Slytherin colours.
Representing the honour of Slytherin, and yes, indeed.
Okay. And if we have problems in completing the first race, Writing Bull is green, so. Off we go. You're going to tell us what's happening, right, Neil?
I am going to tell you what's happening. We just need to start off the race.
Okay, let's see what happens. How far? I was trying to mumble things around and trying to fix things as you were talking. So did you say anything about how?
I like the Germans. I don't trust them. Are you all right, mate? What a weird thing to say about a whole nation of people.
We still need to balance the single player game.
Who do we think is going to win? Let's place our bets now. Not actually YouTube. If YouTube actually thinks we're placing bets, we'll get banned. Let's not place actual bets. Let's place our false bets. I think we give it to Angry Joe Show. I think we give it to him.
For selecting the different tracks.
Thank you guys for saving myself and being completely dressed in pink with plumes. If things are, let's see if we manage to pull this together. Of course, this is not an easy thing. We're trying to do this with a build that's not even feature complete, and we have received this build and tested it. I think once maybe.
So you can see all the players' chariots while they're in the equivalent to the garage.
So let's see how it goes, and if someone joins the race.
There's always a risk on the day itself.
Of course there is, and we're fine with it. And I can see people running around like headless chicken in the background. Indeed. It's pretty cool. It's okay. And Neil, could Ancient Arenas Chariots, the development has been interesting because there's always this thing where you want to balance the management part of the game and the racing part of the game, and how long do you think players will spend in one part and the other?
Well, I don't think we've ever been worried about making an appealing chariot racing game. We've always felt that that's going to work very well.
Pimp my chariot.
Solid foundations.
It will be good to see how much you can truly customize this, because I think that's going to be the main selling point. I think the chariot racing is one thing, and if they get that down, then great. But if you're able to customize chariots and all that kind of stuff, that would be another level.
It's certainly been a challenge, but we've got a number of systems in there. We need to balance them out a bit more finely, I think.
Yeah. But the other thing, of course, with a game like Ancient Arenas Chariots is that you end up having to please different types of players, right? Because there's players who gonna really enjoy only the racing part, and the management part has to be deep enough to please whoever's.
Have you guys seen this story, by the way, of a 6-year-old kid in the UK that found a 3 million-year-old megalodon shark tooth while looking for shells. Metro reports that the child Sammy Shelton found a 4-inch tooth while exploring a beach in Suffolk. And it was a megalodon tooth. That's mental. I'm looking at a picture of it now. It's massive. Well, for a tooth. It's 4 inches? No, that's not that. Yeah, 4 inches. That's decent size. I hope the kid gets to keep it and he can sell it for millions.
Try again later. But okay, I see the loading screen.
Here we go. We're getting in some gameplay.
Restarted. I didn't understand a thing. Come here. I think she's Julia is the other Julia. We have a Julia and then we have the other Julia. She's telling me that things are probably gonna work now, but I don't know. This looks like
we have a single player game set up, but it appears to be set up with indeed only a single player.
All right, this is the single player challenge. Okay, okay, cool.
So this gives you an idea. Obviously, there are no AI characters working in here.
Right, so basically,
that's just the way we've set it up in the rush to get it working.
So you have your bit where you can decide what's your next move.
You have a number of actions down here, for example, which will be sort of familiar from the original game as to what you can do. So in the top-down view here, which was sort of seen traditionally, you get an idea of...
this went down very badly. Too fast in the corners.
That was disappointing. Why have you done that?
So we may get to see here...
It's a rookie mistake. A complete rookie mistake. Yeah. So it seems like they've given up trying to do the multiplayer thing because it wasn't quite working, and now they're going with a solo race. And the chariot has crashed. The horses are running off with nobody.
You can run other Arigas down, certainly. So if somebody comes flying off, you can try and target them. Indeed, they will try and make it to you. You will see there where the screen is paused. We have a gate in the side there. That's where another chariot here will try and flee to. So you can choose to try and run them down. And,
has the whole game just crashed?
Is there any horse killing?
Or do they quit the game?
Yeah, so
as in reality.
Horses.
I can't lie. This is not going as smoothly as I think they would have hoped.
It's an unfortunate part of chariot racing that it can be dangerous for the horses as well as for the human racers.
Oh, and they've got multiplayer back in. We might actually get some multiplayer here. The mechanics are a lot like turn-based naval combat games. I get what you mean.
The Origas, are we ready for the race?
Okay, we're having an actual race with actual people now.
Hopefully, this is gonna happen now. Maybe not. Who knows? That Origas were actually the sports stars of the time.
Oh, very much. They were, they were very much the stars of the day, like footballers are today, either in Italy or in England.
And these guys were earning a lot of money.
They were.
They had managers. And
it's Slytherin, man. Let's play it by email. That's what makes it endearing, though, doesn't it? Sort of the still kind of homemade element of it.
Their own teams, as it were, and the ability to build up your team is something we will have in the game here too.
So it's surprising how similar to some of the logics we have in our current sports that were back in the days.
They were all there back in the day as well. Certainly, yes. It's there's nothing is ever truly new.
Yeah. It's right. So guys, I guess that what we could do is now try and move to the next bit. We have.
Oh, guys.
I think we have a little bit of time. We can fill with the recap video and then maybe move to
Starship Troopers.
Starship Troopers.
Yes.
And hopefully get back to Ancient Arenas later if we can.
That's all I need is Starship Troopers.
I don't want to make that. I just want to make sure that viewers out there are.
This guy, he's a professional. Doesn't matter what you say about the issues and technical stuff that's going on in this stream. This guy is a professional. He's like, look, this ain't working. Let's go to Starship Troopers. And well, I mean, we've seen this little trailer a billion times now, but I actually quite like the games that they're showing off. Give me more Warhammer 40k. Technical difficulties happened, Alexander the Great, it seems. Many technical difficulties that they couldn't quite recover from. But hey ho, it happens. Hey ho. It is what it is. But it does come with good news, because it means that we're going to be going to Starship Troopers, which is the game I've kind of been waiting for. I think it's the game that looks the most promising, the most polished, the most beautiful. Everything about it just looks, oh yes. So Starship Troopers is on its way. We're going to get a good watch of that. And then I think that's probably the last one, so that will be the end of the stream at that point. Terminated Dark Fate. So yeah, that's the little teaser from Ancient Arenas Chariots. Unfortunately, the gameplay was less impressive. Look, even if we did get to actually see some multiplayer gameplay, from what we saw from that little single player race, it looked a little bit below average, I can't lie. And that does feel a bit mean to say, but I've got to be completely honest. Let's hope Starship Troopers can pull this one out the bag. I think they will be able to. I think it's a very promising game. So, let's go over what we've seen so far. So, the first one we saw was Master of Magic. Everyone kind of thought that looked pretty cool. About a 6, 7 out of 10. I'd agree with that. Looked pretty cool. It looked like it had a lot of potential. It was a remake of an old classic. People were looking forward to it. I think the map looked really good. The UI was very old-timey in terms of like late 90s, early 2000s development style, but hey-ho. Not necessarily my style, but the gameplay looked pretty cool. Next, we had Field of Glory Kingdoms. The screenshots we saw were awesome. I loved the way they looked. Unfortunately, there was no gameplay for that. Then we had Stargate Timekeepers. A lot of people were kind of iffy on it. They would criticize the AI, which I think is fair enough. I thought it looked pretty cool with the stealth mechanics. I love stealth games. The over-the-top stuff isn't always my kind of thing, but I guess it just depends how well they execute that. Then we got Arena Chariots, people of the Chariot Arenas. That was, I'm going to just be honest, that was a disaster of a showcase, and I think Slither will probably agree with that. The game idea looks really good, but I mean, I can't say I'm excited for it, because they haven't really shown anything of it yet. But now, we have the one. Starship Troopers, Terran something. We get to see a full mission. Let's go. Full gameplay.
What can you tell us about it?
So, Perimeter is quite a lot further into the
look how cool
campaign
it looks.
than we
Look how
previously
cool that
shown,
looks.
as you can see from the screen we're seeing with the Edmond playing away, showing us our scenario select screen. So previously we've only shown you missions from quite near the early of the game. The Steam Next Fest demo was kind of the first 3 missions. So we're going now to the kind of end of what we call Act 3 internally. There's been a very large bug invasion. The Federation has heroically made a great stand and pushed the bugs back into, well, next door.
Yes.
But we are heroically securing the perimeter now.
Yes, I don't want to give some spoilers away, but we're going to see some units that we have never seen before.
Yes, we're looking forward to it. And Edmond is going to win heroically, aren't you, Edmond?
Yes, actually, Commander Edmond is very experienced with the game, but we're not exactly sure that he can beat this.
I've seen him play.
Yes, yes. I mean, what do we do with him if he doesn't win?
Oh, I don't know. I think we might have to court-martial him, to be honest.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. They actually agreed with me.
We only have 30 minutes to beat the mission, so let's make a bet. If Edmond can't win in 30 minutes, he's going to be in trouble.
Oh, I think so. I think there's trouble awaiting for him right here.
All right, so let's get into
I'm really looking forward to this. I've actually only recently watched Starship Troopers, the movie, like a few months ago. Obviously, it's a big cult classic, but I never actually watched it. But it is a cool movie.
The military is building a line of fortifications around Qualash's industrial sector. Troopers are busy clearing out the last few insect stragglers from the green zone. Safety, security, and a return to normal life are just around the bend.
normal life. Here we come.
All right, so some of you might not be familiar with how the game plays, so we'll take the first few minutes to familiarize ourselves with the UI and anything that's happening.
Yes. So we've got a few new characters you maybe haven't met before yet. You'll learn more about them when the game comes out. These are kind of our commanding officers for this mission.
I will actually read the book as well. Sounds good.
Drawn a line around the planet that includes most of Kwalasha, where the bugs can maybe stay safe.
Yes.
And we've got, but however, the PR is maybe not necessarily matching the reality. So we're here to make that happen.
Okay. Sounds like a plan.
Yes.
All right, so what can you tell us? What are we seeing here?
So this is pretty much every mission in Starship Troopers. You start with a radio base, which is kind of your base of operations.
How cool is this?
Edmon has been, shall we say, dropped into a
Look at it.
zone. So
Oh, it looks beautiful. I'm so glad that they did this one last. They did definitely save the best till last. Dawn of War vibes. I agree. I really agree.
Secure his base.
The book is far more adult than the movie. Interesting.
Very small amounts of terrain, and there's a lot of red with lots of big numbers on it to indicate lots of bug hives with lots of bugs in them.
Yes. Let's talk about these days. You can only build some specific buildings in specific slots.
Yes. So each of you, to encourage, shall we say, collection of the bases around the map. The Federation wisely only kind of built so many building slots in each base. So specialization is the name of the game. So here Edmond started out with access to rifle troopers, Mark II troopers, and combat engineers. But he needs to go and use his deployment zone back in his base to open up the next level of units. So he's pushing forward a bit to try and get forward and secure an outlying area.
Awaiting orders.
Oh, that's a bug layer.
Yes, those are kind of environmental obstacles.
I really like the look of this. I mean, the design on the creatures is beautiful.
They'll keep spitting out bugs until you close them, but they're not the main.
You're right, this is very Dawn of War-like. And that is by no means a negative.
He's doing that to basically buy himself a bit of space, a bit of breathing room to build out from. But his main problem is that his southeast corridor is open. So that's why he's building his turrets back there, back in the base. Kind of secures that zone.
You know, one of the things I really enjoy about this game is how it always keeps the pressure on the player. There's never a dull moment in Starship Troopers.
No, if you stop, the bugs tend to keep coming.
Yes.
They tend to there's never enough bugs really. There's also quite a lot of your guys. So if you want to, the Federation being the Federation, there's always more bodies. It's about using those bodies well.
Yeah.
So you'll notice the little pips appearing over these troops' emblems are experience levels. So they're getting better. They're getting better.
The movie is cool, but it's really rather extreme interpretation of it. Interesting. I have actually heard of that the movie is very different to the original book.
At least one alive, and refill that units with troops from orbit. Then you keep that experience level. So that's kind of a lot of the heart of the game is keeping those experienced troops alive.
So the book isn't like a campy, like almost comedic thing at all. It's like very serious thing. That's interesting. Oh, flamer troops. I mean, they've just walked through their own flames, but hey ho. Any way to win the battle, am I right?
Whether your Federation commanders believe it's a serious enough battle to get attention for. He has his deployment slots he's got available, dropships available, and then supply and war support. Supply is kind of like your soft cap, which people know from other RTSs. It's kind of how many basic bodies you can get out, whereas war support is for the kind of more sophisticated things like buildings and also some of the more advanced Federation units.
Okay. I think this is a good moment to talk about terrain elevation. As you can see, Edmond just placed some troopers on an elevated terrain. What's the advantage of that?
So first of all, line of sight. If you're up there, you can see that.
The book is like an action version of political philosophy, sci-fi, Ayn Rand kind of thing. Interesting. It's way more high-tech than the movie, which is funny because it was written in the 1950s. Well, yeah, but like the 1950s and like all that time, you had stuff like War of the Worlds and all that kind of vibe going on. And when you can imagine a future that doesn't exist yet, you can imagine much more fantastical things than if you're imagining a future closer to the time of that future, if you know what I mean. Because you already have a reference for the technology that might be around.
Elevation means they can shoot over units with no real care about who's in the way.
That's very handy.
Yes.
Yeah, as you can see, Edmond has been using quite a few unit abilities.
Yes.
Each unit, has a standard mode of attack, but they also have special abilities.
Yes. And he's also just pushed forward and cleared his first bug hive. He's obviously heard our inspirational talk, so he's really pushing for it. So the bug hive is just cleared. It's kind of like the main bug structure in our game, where bugs come from, where bug attack waves come from, where bug defensive structures are built.
So these missions feel very much like, I mean, as I said, it's quite Dawn of War-y, but when I played Company of Heroes, you had missions that were a lot like this. This seems like pretty standard for like strategy missions. So far, I'm very, very excited for this game. I think it's great. I don't think, or at least from what we've been shown here, that it's doing anything different to other RTSs, other than it has a Starship Troopers skin on it. But I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing. The RTS genre, or this type of RTSs, really got it pinned down on what makes fun gameplay. Oh my word!
This guy here, yes. Which unfortunately
yes.
Might 2 Troopers a few issues. They appear to be melting.
I love that
they're
animation.
Melting, Edmond. They're melting. Do something.
No, that's fine. I really love the animation, and I'm glad that
the tank has been taken down.
Also, yeah, new threat, hopper bugs as well. Oh, by the way,
War of the Worlds was 1898. When was the radio show though?
Yes, so plasma bugs are the ones you've recognised from the movies, but in this one they're not just shooting at orbit, they're shooting at you.
1977. Right, you're right. I've got my my dates all canoodled up.
If you get in there, they'll start dropping big, high explosive globs of plasma on you, just to keep you on your toes. That kind of thing. So Edmund's doing all right here. He's pushing forward. He's got enough supplies to call down fleet liaison if he wanted to, which might be shouting in a moment. Fleet liaisons like the radio troopers people. Oh, there we go. There is a plasma problem.
Yeah.
He might want to move from there. Oh, and here's some spiffers and some poppers. Oh dear, people are falling dead.
No.
Come on, Edmund, you can do it.
Yeah.
There we go.
Made it.
I love the blood splatters that come off.
Well done, Edmund.
The aliens. It's a shame that the bodies don't stick around for that long. I love for them to be like piled up. Yeah, the movement does look really good. Sound effects are pretty nice as well. Sound design.
The fleet liaison officer, not only does she have that ability, she can also call down attack strikes, which are wonderfully devastating. Oh dear, poor bugs.
I also really like the level design. It's looking pretty good, especially the dynamic height of it. Because a lot of the time you just have flat RTS levels, but being able to like shoot down from bridges and the balconies on the top of buildings is a really cool addition, and it will add a lot of different types of gameplay. Because like you see there, you can drop in more troops, you can drop in turrets, that kind of thing, and being able to defend positions from different positions, being able to defend points from different positions. Sorry, will be a big factor of this. I'm thinking. Oh my God, flying bugs!
As we were saying, he's currently attacking uphill, which is occasionally an issue.
Yeah.
As you see, the
oh my God, plasma
bug. A plasma bug.
Hello, plasma bug.
The design on that thing looks beautiful.
When they do, it tends to get quite messy. And the hive he's trying to attack you is quite a big one as well. So not only are there bugs, like the chariot bugs there, who are trying to defend the plasma bug.
Oh, it's a attack strike.
Yes, incoming. Come on, M-Bomb, drop the hammer. There we go.
There we go.
Oh yes.
Plasma bugs have
beautiful.
Beautiful. He's done a wonderful job there of clearing out the bugs that are guarding the plasma bug. But he'll need to get his rocket troopers in there to finish the deal. Like that.
Nice.
But she probably needs to get out of there. Come on, Lily, run.
That was a close one.
That was a close one. So he's doing some high action. He's got some good high.
There we go.
There it goes. Good work, Headball. So there's 2 plasma bugs on this map. Yeah, so he needs to go and deal with that. But as you were saying earlier, Alberto, certainly at this stage of the game, Starship Troopers is generally about escalation.
Yes.
You get better, the bugs get better. Yes. You get more troops, the bugs get more troops. It all just keeps coming. Yes. There's very rarely a moment of peace.
Bit like me.
Will escalate quickly.
Peace is for the weak. So he's now kind of pushing on this bug hive. It's quite a dangerous bug hive because the number you can see on the minimap is 4.
There's more flying ones. Okay, the waves seem to get bigger and bigger.
Yes, good one. That's more like it. So warrior bugs, less of an orange.
I like that a lot.
and eat barrel bomb.
Also, having the difference in troops, being able to like call in airstrikes and stuff is cool.
Towards that hive center, which is the center of the hive. But this
The bugs don't seem to be that tricky to take out, though. They don't seem to be doing too much damage. I mean, there's a big wave now, so I guess we might see, but
So he's got to pull in some grenades and call in some.
I've not seen them being a real threat here.
Oh dear.
They outdid themselves. I wasn't expecting much when they announced it. I really like this. This is Starship Troopers Terran Command, Aslov. It's a new strategy game by Slytherin, and they're just showing it off. This is sort of the first mission. The first true bit of gameplay that we've seen in like unedited. This is being played live at the moment, so yeah, the bugs don't seem like they're much of a threat to Starship, which I know it makes sense, right? It's how it is in the film and the book and that kind of thing, I assume. However, oh no, they aren't. No, they are starting to lose guys now. One criticism I have actually is seeing that is the deaths of the humans isn't quite as brutal as the deaths of the bugs. The bugs have full like ragdoll physics. The humans just kind of disappear when they die.
That's very close. Come on.
You can do it.
Come on, Edmund.
Oh, I think he's got to do it as well, you know. I think he's got to do it.
Oh.
So close.
Rip that unit.
So, a little announcement there. So, new next battle tier unlocked, which is quite exciting for our purposes. The battle tier is next battle tier.
They're going into the hive. Oh god, that's terrifying. Look at that. That's awesome.
We'll have some fun later on.
I really like that. I like the way that's been done. That's really nicely done.
Yeah.
Looking as healthy as it could. Yes.
Get more troops. Just spam rifle troops. That's what I would do. That's what I'm going to do when this game comes out. Just spam rifle troops.
Losing your bases is not the end of it. As long as you've got some sort of foothold on Kwalasha, you can get back into the fight. But all these guys are now level 1 XP, no special or very basic special abilities. So he's got to up his game and play better. Aren't you, Edmond?
By the way, you have 20 minutes left.
Yes.
Then it's court-martial time.
Durner, what are your thoughts on Company of Heroes 3? What happened to that? Because they showed a load of trailers, they gave a load of YouTubers the option to play the pre-alpha and show it off, and then it's just gone away. Has it been delayed?
So there you go. I think this is looking a bit more like it, though. He's got what, about 2 Mark II, some rockets, some rifles, fleet liaison, and some engineers. I think this feels much more like a force to me. So his combat engineers he's going to use on the flank. They can't shoot poppers, but they're very good at close range. So they're very, very good for securing a flank or in a choke point. I think he needs to get some extra support up there. The other advantage of the Mark II troopers, which are the guys you see in the middle there, is they have underslung grenade launchers. So even if the line of sight is blocked, they can still contribute to the fight by lobbing some rifle grenades up the top. So here we go. This feels like a good one.
I played the original. I think GHQ ran out of steam pretty quick. I was very disappointed by the Dawn of War sequels. Yeah, I'm actually working on a video on Dawn of War 3 at the moment, because I played the first Dawn of War and the second one actually, but I never played Dawn of War 3, and so I didn't really experience the whole hate train against it. So I'm sort of doing an in-depth review on why people hate it and seeing if I agree with them or not. So spoilers, it's not that good. It looks nice, but it's not that good.
Yeah. You know, just to explain something to those players who are a bit more familiar with RTS games, this game is really about micro.
Oh yes, it's very much a micro game rather than a macro game.
Yeah.
There is as you've said, there's an economy there, but it's a Starship Troopers economy. It's not your usual. There's no harvesters, there's no drones. Well, there are drones, they're on the other side. There's very much about securing access to forces and using those forces well. Edmond is, from looking at his hand, he's playing with a very high sensitivity mouse. He's barely moving. He's in full leech player mode right now, I think. There we go. So you can see from the markers there, Edmond's cleared the bugs out of the main hive. He's cleared the bugs out of that first tunnel, so I think they're about to come back. There we go. So he's just got to clear those last few pips of bugs down. Oh, they're going to make it. Oh, I think they got bushwhacked. Didn't quite make it. But he can get down a drop zone and keep people up. And he's got some reinforcements back at the base to come and help. But looks like that hive's down, that hive's down, that hive's down. Clear it, go on, get those guys in there. Come on, boys and girls, you can do it.
They wanted to turn Dawn of War into a squad tactical game with the mechanics that were not designed to handle. Yeah, I did get that from Dawn of War 3. The first two were very much like a Supreme Commander / Age of Empires style. And Dawn of War 3 is a bit more like this, actually, in terms of the squad stuff. Obviously, less of the base kind of thing that this has and the points you take, but yeah, individual squads rather than building out troops and researching and things like that.
What he's got to do is go and capture that other Federation outpost, which comes with more supplies attached, and also
hive growth.
Oh, hive growth. Oh, that's unfortunate. They dislike you even more. Oh, and arachnid counterattacks. Oh dear, Edmond. The pressure just keeps growing.
Well, I think he will need some new toys soon.
Yes, he will. So what he's going to do now is, he's got more supplies and he's got a few more defences, but he's got that hive just to the left of where he is now that's kind of sat in behind his lines. So if I know Edmond, he's going to go and secure that space. So what he's actually doing here is he's using his dropships for a bit of strategic manoeuvre. So he's pulled those units back into orbit, which gives him a bit of supply back. But he needs to undo some HMD turrets to get the war support back, which will now let him call down the might of the Marauder.
Nice. So this is what I was waiting for.
Yes. So if everyone who's watched Starship Troopers 3 will recognise the M11 Babar Marauder. And whilst these guys are recognising that tankers are no joke, the Marauder is here with its Vulcan cannon and cross machine gun to basically make the bugs pay. So unfortunately, you see, it can move, it can fight, it can't shoot upwards, which is unfortunate. It's not very good at aerial bombardment, but that's what rifle troopers are for.
Makes sense.
Yes, so everyone's going to bring in the big guns now, literally.
Yes. Yeah, I really love it.
Yes, so he's going to secure this area from these bugs. These warriors are no threat at all to a Marauder.
Wow,
look at that! Look at those.
That is so cool.
Yes.
Look at that. Oh my word. They have done a great job with this game. I think this has redeemed most of the stream.
Oh, will he make that? Oh, that's going to be close.
Yeah, he made it, I think.
Oh. Yes, Edmond.
Yes, nice.
You are still alive. So now he's done what the Federation wanted, which is basically he's closing down hives. But he's now got a new objective, which is not just to clear all the hives, but also to activate the wavebreaker cannons on the exterior perimeter. So it's
what
proceeding
can you tell us about this cannon?
So wavebreaker cannons, you'll also remember possibly from Starship Troopers 3, defending the outpost there. They are very big guns, shall we say, is a very subtle way of putting it. But they're currently cut off. The defending forces couldn't secure them when the bugs attacked earlier. So his job is to push forward, reactivate the controls, and use them to stop the bug attacks that are currently coming in. If you look on the minimap, you can see the arrows in the southeast. So there's bug attack waves coming from that direction. So he's now securing some little supply caches around the map to buy him a bit more supply headroom, which is used almost instantly. That's how good he is. Oh, and the bugs appear to be taking his base back. Oh, that's unfortunate, Edmond. They appear to have wised up to your cunning plans. So I think he might be about to go into negative supply. He is. Negative supply is no bad thing. He'll be fine. Edmond knows what he's doing. But it does mean that he's not going to be able to summon any new troops until he gets into positive supply again.
I mean, that's dangerous, but not. It doesn't necessarily mean that's the end of the mission.
No, it's the kind of thing. If he can go back there and retake those bases, I have lots of faith in him. But I'm not sure his troopers necessarily do right at this moment in time. Run away, little men.
I can make it.
I wish I knew the Jacob. I have no idea. I've not really been following it.
Is that whilst there weren't many, oh dear, there's so many mistakes everywhere. Oh, Edmond.
I'd assume they've not done too much with Battle of Persistent World just yet because the multiplayer files are still not out.
Those engineers, not so much.
By the way, how many types of Marauders do we have in the game?
So we have 3. So currently Edmond's got 2 on the board here now. He's got the one with the Vulcan cannon, which is basically spits out high quantities of fire, very good for suppressing the bugs and slowing them down. And then he's got another one down there with a howitzer attached, which is basically a very good anti-armor long-range weapon, especially for taking out.
What's your favorite one?
Oh, I like the one he hasn't got, which is a flamethrower, which maybe we'll see later. So he's currently got some engineers to come and try and secure his main base because he's still getting raided. So yeah. To be fair to Edmond, we have asked him to set him a reasonable challenge here.
Yes. Well, I mean,
he's doing well.
He is, but he has 10 minutes left.
Yeah, it might be a kind of a noble discharge, but we'll see. So yes, there's a good force pushing forward. He's lost his other forces. He's lost 2 bases. He's still clinging on to 2 other bases.
But he has 2 marauders.
He has 2 marauders.
And they are advancing. So
yes, they are advancing. He's got actually those troops there are decent support, but I don't think he's got any more fleet liaison. I think she may have bought the farm. She has. So he's unsupported, but he has said he has all the cannons. And he did well there.
Ooh.
So what you saw may have saw in the middle there is a
These
warrior book.
mech guys are pretty goddamn cool. I would like some of them, please. Not in the game, just in everyday life. I'd love a mech.
Really angry. He's currently doing.
If anyone can sort that out for me, just let me know.
How it's marauding.
So the second bar that we see above the unit is like a second wing.
Yes, it's again kind of in full classic big boss manner. The Royal Guard has kind of 2 health bars. You get rid of the first, it gets quite angry then to get rid of the second.
Nice dodge there.
Yes, they're coming for the thing is Royal Guard, if you don't take them down on one of the few units from the bugs are typically really seriously damage a marauder. So he's having to fight on 2 flanks at once now. But he's doing a good job.
Or he is, for sure.
So yeah, he's pushing forward. He seems to have broken the back of it. He needs to get some troops up there to capture that terminal.
Were there more than one Starship Trooper film? I think there was like 3. Did they say there was 3? No one really talks about the second or third one though, do they? I guess they just weren't received as well.
Oh, hello, Royal Guard. Oh, did they make it? Oh, I think he stopped them just in time. If a Royal Guard can make contact with some rifle troopers, their attacks tend to be quite large. You tend to have a lot of bodies at once, which is unfortunate. But there you go. Oh, is he got dodge? He's good. Those rifle troopers can maybe make it.
Yes.
Come on, Edmond.
Can make it. Come on.
We believe in you.
Come on.
So he's captured that terminal, get it online. That'll bring the next
Just
wave
a couple
breaker
more
online.
seconds.
Is he going to survive? Puzzle everywhere.
They were made for TV movies. I see. That's why I've not really heard of them.
Yes, so our power is online. The wave breakers are firing.
And we also gain 1 war support.
Which is a wonderful thing. So there you go. So those wave breakers are very heavily armored, very highly armored. So
oh, look, they climb up the walls. That's cool.
I like how the approach of the Federation is just build bigger guns.
No, who wouldn't build bigger guns? So the important thing now is that's kind of secured for him that flank that was coming from the southeast. So we can now start turning the corner. Pop when that Royal Bug pops out right next to his rifle troopers. Run away, boys and girls. So what people may have noticed. This level now, which different to the Steam Next Best demo, has lots of voiceovers in it.
Yes.
So the troopers are much more.
Oh, so you actually like the third one? I might have to watch them. Starship Troopers 2.
Soldiers of every type. Yes.
It's not on any streaming services though.
Everyone does their part, yes, and we respect that. So that's another use.
See, the first one's on Disney Plus.
He had some units there that are in the backfield. They've been defending the main base.
The other ones aren't.
He's basically asking for the fleet to do a strategic move, pull that guy from the backfield to his midfield to help secure that middle base. And there they go. Yes, he's keeping these guys here because the tankers arrive like that. Oh dear, that tanker in your base might be a trouble, Edmond. Told you.
That's not ideal.
No, I think the HMGs have good armor piercing, but it's going to be tight. I don't know one's surviving. Oh, down it goes. What's he bringing down?
Oh, the third is when the mechs came in. Right.
I think it's just kind of.
Is she going to bomb it? No, she's going to summon a thing to get out of there. Run away.
I always thought it was like a bit of a parody of like Aliens.
Got away with that.
Yeah, probably.
So he's going to move his troopers back to the base. Oh, come on, troops. He's being helped. He's got a HMG there up on the turret, which I think is his last best hope. Come on, you can do it. Oh.
No. Oh no.
Yes.
Oh yes.
Yes.
Oh,
and then the
come
warriors
on.
arrive. Oh, it was all so close. Oh, here come the engineers.
That was a very violent effort.
He's oh dear, another bit of a flank. Oh, this is unfortunate, Edmond. We had so much faith, we had so much hope for you. Possibly need a bit more troop. Oh, you can summon a flame marauder to your main base there, Edmond, if you wanted to. You can summon a flame
This is a
marauder.
very desperate defense. Come on. Yes.
Yeah, there we go.
There was a late 80s anime Starship Troopers as well.
Good work.
I like the sound of that.
Because he secured that flank here with the wave breakers, his advanced horse here were quite secure because he's got that wave breaker support. So that Royal Guard is still really very angry. So there you go. So he's got to now push forward, try and push the last of the bugs out of that hole. There's a good full tunnel over there, so he's going to take quite a bit of heat, I think. Like that, as he would say. So I think the problem is now he's having to move outside of the cover of that wave breaker.
Yes.
Plasma incoming. Marauders don't really care. They're fine. The rest of the troopers not quite so well armored.
Those hoppers are being a real issue right now because
Yes.
the Marauders can't really do much against them.
No, those are. I think that was what 7 of them. Yeah. So had the unexpected result. And this is the point where losing those bases earlier is really starting to bite because he can't field that many units because he's missing what. About 10 supply from not having those bases. So here we go. Let's see. This is his next rank of push forward.
Another wave.
Yes, come on, troopers. So he's basically those marauders are there. They're kind of fine, but unsupported. There's a good chance they're in trouble.
I'm not a massive anime fan anyway.
I really like how they're.
You have to be naked to drive one of those
He has
mechs.
managed to get some upgrades there for his troopers. Though. He's using attack moves.
I feel like I've got to watch this third movie.
Infantry as the hoppers fly over the top of that cliff. The infantry are engaging. Old Royal Guard. 2 Royal Guards, 1 on each marauder, and the plasma goes. Oh, it's all going off. And unfortunately, Fleet Liaison has been a bit too brave. Oh well, these things happen.
Well, officers need to lead by example.
She leads from the front. It's a really, really good way to go.
That's what the mobile infantry wants.
Precisely. She's there to. Fleet aren't just for flying; they're also for dying.
Yes.
So here we go. So there we go. It's coming in a bit more support now. The Marauders, unsurprisingly, can't fit into the bug tunnels, so you do need some infantry support to get in there. But he's doing a decent job. Lots of fire and flame and brimstone coming out of there. In go his troopers. Can they clear it? It's going to be close. There's a chance. He's done a lot of damage here. Go on, Edmond. Bang, bang, bang. Yeah.
Nice, boys.
Good work, sir. Well done. So, he's got 4 minutes on the clock from what I can see.
Yes.
He's got 1 more bug hive and 1 more plasma and 3 more control terminals to activate. That's a tough ask. He's not seen that drone hive either. He's not seen that drone hive. Incoming drones. Oh, but his troops have saved him there. That Fleet Liaison's going to get in the face.
Oh, more broke.
Oh, the pistol good. The pistol saved her. Oh,
yeah,
well done.
It did.
Well done, Liaison girl. And here come the attack strike to really polish it off. There we go. She knows what she's doing. And down goes that plasma bug.
Nice.
Lovely work, Edmond. We never lost faith.
Nice. Come on.
So yeah, that's the next base coming online. This one has no supplies attached. It's kind of just a little mini forward base. But importantly, you can get new troops to it, which is kind of his key bit because he's kind of out of support radius. Next pair of moonbreakers
Here's
come
the
online.
mortar coming online.
More war support. So he's got 3 minutes and 2 terminals to capture.
Yes, although possibly High Command would give us a bit more time.
No.
I'm not sure. I don't know.
Are you saying there might be more than they want to do with this?
No. I don't know. Let's see.
Let's see. Well, here you go. He's engaging well. So he's got that other terminal over on that far side, which is where, if you remember, he got wiped out trying to take that base. So I would expect some opposition over there. I personally made the mistake of going, oh, it's fine, I'll just send a little set of troopers over to secure it.
In the book of Ender's Game, all these children fighting the aliens are also some of the time naked. That is weird. That is very weird. Oh, that was actually brutal. But also beautiful at the same time.
So, you know, it all works out. I like it.
I mean, friendly fire is killing, right?
Oh, it's an instructive lesson.
Yes.
So it's a grenade down there. Also, not only does it hurt the bugs, it slows them down as well.
By the way, I just want to mention it. It's rather obvious, but as you can see, bugs can scale and climb walls.
Yes. Oh, yeah. So they are not keen on. Well, it's a classic Federation thing. They build a very efficient outpost wall, which just happens to be the perfect size and shape for bugs to climb, which is just unfortunate. I think you'll find. But yes, they don't respect those walls. They don't need to go around them. They will go over them. So here we go. He's going down off his last base. Oh, unfortunately, as you can see, this is at full 4 pips now. These bugs are really not happy. Oh, you'll also notice that the Marauder, being a bit taller, doesn't really respect line of sight rules.
Yeah,
it's just shooting over top of everything.
That makes sense.
And here comes all the bombs. There you go, M1. That's what we want.
Nicely done.
Suppressive fire.
Look at those corpses.
Oh, so many corpses. Come on, M1, you can do it.
Come on.
So he's definitely got the upper hand here.
Yes.
I think he may have lost his actual main base, 2 bases. So he's lost 4 bases, but he's still in the fight. So that's good. That's the important bit. He's still in the fight. Yes, unfortunately. So the problem is,
I agree. The Federation should just leave it. It's not worth it anymore. Get out of there.
You can't build that troop again, and you can only have one of those buildings on the map at any one time. So you notice that all I'm going to do now is summon more rifle troopers. And there you go. All right,
come on,
M1.
We're almost there.
Come on. I can see High Command waiting. High Command waiting for you, M1.
High Command is expecting some results soon.
It's now or never, M1. Now or never.
Come on, you can do it. It's so close.
Maybe not them.
It's so close.
I can see the general going to the podium right now, M1.
The Sky Marshal wants it
yes,
now.
The Sky Marshal is unhappy. Oh, so are those combat engineers. Oh, I'm not sure it's going to work. Oh, he's got away with it. No, he's been eaten. Oh well. Oh, but he's got rid of 4 pips, got rid of 7 pips with the bugs. Got 1 more royal guard.
Come on,
get
I
those
still believe in you.
up.
I still believe in you.
Time is technically up.
No. Not yet.
Oh, there we go, everyone. Get in there. Get in there.
Get in there, soldiers.
Oh, lovely grenade. Fantastic grenade to finish.
Nice.
I think he's managed. He's only gone and done it.
Yes.
Well, it looks like that was Starship Troopers. That was the one that we got the most gameplay, the most info on, and I think it was also the best, and I don't think that's a coincidence.
You can do it, boys and girls.
Come on, boys.
Yeah, there we go.
Nice.
M1, you have survived and be employed another day. Well done, sir. That's fantastic work.
Now you will be deployed to even more lethal war zones.
Yes, you've proven your ability to fight in more war zones. It's great.
All right. Okay, so I think that's it.
Yeah. Cool. So everyone's going to carry on tidying up.
Right. Well, there we have it. That has been the Slytherin live stream. There's been some good. There's been some bad. There's been some disasters. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. It has been 3 hours, which is the longest that I've streamed for. It's fun. But I guess I will see you guys in the next video on the channel. Make sure you stick around, and thank you once again for Slytherin for sponsoring this stream. But I'll see you guys next time.